You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hey everybody, welcome. Now. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Skyjack Morgan. Hey everybody, welcome. I'm glad that you're alive. I'm glad that you're happy. Yo, what's the deal and how you feeling? Call in JVS, call in Johnny Vegan Seed, call in. The call-in number is morningsky.live/PYB, morningsky.live/PYB. That's the jam, that's the song, that's the link. Go and do it. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. I'm going to put it in the chat right now so you can call in to the show. Johnny Vegan Seed is crying. I mean, driving. But you should still call in. http:// morningsky.live/PYB. That's it. Let's see if I can make sure it happens here. Let's pin that bad boy right there, Morning Sky. Hopefully I spelled everything correctly. morningsky.pyb. It looks right to me. Hey everybody, welcome. Parallelish. Hey, love the Bartleby IDs there, little Bartleby badges. I was doing a little bit of I was looking at stuff. I was looking at these images of I want to call my show when I do the gaming show. I want to call it Anarchy in Pywell. And I was looking, man, I would love Anarchy in the UK. I want to make it look kind of like this somehow. But I really like this black and white one right here with the safety pin and everything holding it all together. Here we go. Who's this? Anarchy in the UK. Who's this guy right here? Who's this guy? Is that Johnny Rotten? No, that ain't Johnny Rotten. Who is that guy? I think it'd be funny, like just torn edges, torn paper. The Queen. I wanna be. I am the anarchist. I am the Antichrist. Is Kathy? How is the ticker? How's the ticker, Kathy? How's the ticker? Is Steve really getting you a good PC? Yeah, that's happening. He already paid for half of it. It's an expensive thing. It's happening. We're really doing it. It's really happening. Yeah, the dude is actually getting this PC. So yeah, pretty soon I'll have it. Pretty nuts, right? And because it's so expensive, in order to keep the budget down for this, I'm going to try to keep my setup as much as it is right now. I'm going to have to change what the camera is. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know how I'm going to deal with the camera yet. But the camera might need to be here or something, like right up in my mug. Like right up, maybe I'll have a really close up every time I'm on the air now, and then I'm gonna mount the TV. The TV mount is actually coming today. I need to figure out where I can get a drill. I don't have a drill in order to mount the television, but I'll mount the TV right here, and then that'll be the monitor as well. I guess I don't know how it's all gonna work yet. You can share screens. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. They say do something every day that scares you, so I'm going to do that. What games are you going to play on your new PC? The big one is going to be Crimson Desert. We're going to play Crimson Desert on here, and I'm pretty excited about it. I've been looking at it online. Everyone's saying it's like the best game ever. So we're going to play that. Man, and now because I'm looking at that content, everyone's telling me I should play Red Dead Redemption 2, but I don't know. We're going to do Paywell for now. We're just going to do Crimson Desert first, and we'll see how we do it. You should ask Axel. He has a good setup. Who is Axel? I don't even know who Axel is. Who's Axel? Axel, how do you not have a drill? Well, I have had drills in the past, but I've moved a lot in my life, and it's not like I just brought my drills with me everywhere in the world. I gave them to friends or whatever, and then I don't have like a hand drill because I moved into my mom's house. Maybe she has one. Something I can like go into the garage and try to find to see. I don't think there's a drill in the house. I do not believe there's a drill in this house. So I haven't seen one, although I haven't really been looking either. So I'm maybe going to borrow a drill from my neighbor. Hopefully he'll let me borrow his drill, and then I'll be able to hang my television on this wall right here, which should be crazy. Like, to see, like, I'm trying to, like, it's a big screen. It's like, it's a big TV right there, and, like, it'll be massive. I don't know how people play video games, but it's going to be, like, pretty close to this damn thing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to do stuff. You could borrow a drill from any construction guy. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that. Looks overwhelming for me. It kind of looks overwhelming for me, too. It's a good game to watch people play. Oh, okay. Good. Try to hit the studs. That I know. Like, I grew up in a construction house. Like, my father was a Mr. Construction, you know, and I grew up with construction in a construction family. I know my way around stuff. I'm pretty confident I can fix things and stuff like that. I'm fairly handy. Not horribly. I'm not an expert or anything. But, like, I grew up in a house where everything was fix it, you know, we fixed it ourselves. And like we never had someone come do anything. My father always installed everything, did everything, and had all the tools, all the power tools and everything. But I'm a traveler, you know, I've been around the world, and I didn't always have a drill with me everywhere I went. A ding dang do. How you doing, ding dang do? Here we go. Are you ready? Ding Dang Do is on the air with Skyjack Morgan. How the heck are you? What's the deal and how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's good to see you. You're looking good. You're looking fantastic. You're looking white. You're looking strong.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, I was actually wanted to know why
like
do you?
I'm pasty. I look pasty.
Parallelish. No. Oh yeah. See that's you think that's an insult? That's cute. Now, why do you and Parallelish hate white people? I'm trying to get to the bottom of this conundrum.
I don't hate white people.
But you want white people to suffer. I
don't want white people. Do you just come on the air and you want me? Why do you hate white people? What have you been watching today that's got your panties all up in a bunch?
I read your comments. I read your comments. You think I don't? I'm a sky stalker. Okay, I read comments and I see commentary on that you don't care if white people succeed or not, and then parallels saying, well, why do white people need to exist? Something like that.
Oh,
I don't have the comments directly in front of me.
I get what you mean. Like, why does the white race have to exist? Why do races have to exist at all? Why do we have to preserve races of people if it's all a construct?
Yeah, okay. So that's your idea, is it's a construct.
Of course it's a construct. I'm not different than anybody else. I mean, like, I guess culturally I might be different than other people, but, like, I'm not different from somebody because of the color of my skin. If you took a brown person and you raised them... Huh? What?
What if that's not true?
Well, it's been proven many times that it's true, though. It's been studied to death. We know that racial differences are minuscule at best. It's differences like some people don't like cilantro and stuff. It's like really lame stuff, lactose intolerance and shit like that. But racial differences, or dry earwax versus oily earwax, stuff like that. Like, have you ever had an Asian girlfriend? They have dry earwax. It's crazy.
So you like the authorities on that? So you would defer to the authorities whenever they say something like that?
No, I mean, the authorities were the ones originally saying that there's such a difference. They were the ones trying to catalog the differences. That's how we got IQ and all sorts of things, trying to divide us. So no, but now, I think that the jury's in at this point that racial differences are pretty much just shit that we invented. We made it up. Like so many other stupid things, like capitalism or money. It doesn't mean that they don't. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it clearly, if it's real enough for enough people, then it does seem to exist. So it's important. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's not real. You know what I mean? Are you still with me? It's off and coil.
Okay. I am.
That's all.
Okay,
cool.
Just the nasty slut.
I mean, oh no, I can't understand. You're like robot-y. I can't hear you. You're like you sound like a transformer on the fritz. Autobots, mount up. Autobots, roll out. Autobots. You're the good guys. Autobots. Weapons of war. I have the power. They are an embarrassment to normal white people, says Kevin Kevs. If anybody wants to call in and tell me why they think white people should exist, I don't think it means. I don't think parallelish. I don't want to speak for you, parallelish. I think white people can exist. I just think that I'm not gonna feel sad that maybe I will feel sad that there's no more people that look like me, but I'm not going to be around to see that. By the time there's no white race, it won't matter because there's not going to be people like me walking around anymore. There's not going to be blue-eyed devils. The blue-eyed devil. So all of us came from the same 2,000 people. Is that a fact? Is that a fact? Steve, how do you play Final Fantasy and end up racist? Video game stuff. How do you read comic books and still end up racist? It's funny you say that, Steve, because I've been thinking a lot about comic books and superhero stuff, and when I talk to my comic book store owner, it's so much of the comic book stuff is about the superhero fighting the fascists on behalf of the impoverished or vulnerable. But what's interesting that it seems like it's anti-fascist, but there is another way of looking at it, that superhero stuff, and therefore I think also video game stuff, makes it seem like it's almost like a fascist fantasy, right? You can't do anything about it unless you have this hero that will rise above. Don't do anything. Don't get together with your friends. Don't form any kind of communities. Don't get together and organize. Just wait for a champion, and that champion will rise to the occasion. That champion will destroy the evil dictators or whatever. So it's almost as if the fantasy of superheroes and therefore video games, one man against all odds, that it keeps us complacent, complicit, and lazy and atomized. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? This is the Pick Your Battles show. You had to make a call and you're lost. I was talking directly to you and you were lost now? God damn it. If Jack plays Prince in basketball, who would win? Blouses win. What are we going to play? Shirts and blouses? Blouses win. I think you don't know it, but Prince could ball. But I'll never be able to play Prince in basketball. You want to see my impersonation of Prince? He's dead, y'all. He's dead. One of my favorite thing about Prince, and there are lots of favorite things that I have about Prince. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. When he was when Eric Clapton was asked, how does it feel to be the greatest living guitar player? Eric Clapton answered, I don't know, ask Prince. What? Can you imagine Eric Clapton saying that about you? I don't know what it feels like to be the greatest living guitar player. Ask Prince. Amazing. The representatives promoting exploitation aren't plants to you. The representatives promoting exploitation aren't plants to you. All right, this is the Pick Your Battle show. Today we have a lot of wonderful questions on the docket. If you want to join, I would love to have you. Don't forget to hit the like button and drop an emoji in the chat to let everyone know you're watching. This show doesn't work if we don't have a lot of people in the chat, and discoverability is a real thing that you can actually affect. You can just hit the like button, double tap the screen a bunch of times, ape in, get nuts in the chat, and more people will be pushed. The YouTube will push more people to the channel, and it's pretty awesome because then we'll have some takers. Thank you so much, Parallelish. I love that. I ordered a vegan pizza and they put cheese on it. They refuse to take it back. Call the cops or cope the loss. I would say, you're not going to ask for the manager? Call that manager. You tell me the manager's not going to take it? Well, did they? Wait a second. They're not going to replace it? They better replace it. Do you like Chocho? I don't know Chocho Play-Doh. What a great name, Chocho. James Irwin, how are you? Okay, so this is how it works, right? You can pick your own battle. Pick your battle or bring your own. Come on down. Pick your battle or bring your own battle and come talk with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. This is a call-in show called Pick Your Battles. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech, and critical thinking advocate. I hate Democrats and Republicans, and they both hate me. Third party, is that a wasted vote? The spoiler argument assumes the system is worth preserving. If the duopoly is the corruption, then spoiling it isn't a bug. It's the point. And real change happens between elections anyway. Did you vote in your last primary? Why? Why not? Have you ever voted third party? Was it a waste or was it integrity? Is there a threshold of bad enough where you abandon conscience for strategy? Is there? Oh my God, do you ever abandon your conscience for strategy? Why isn't it he had risen? Oh, like in the Bible, he is risen. It's actually it is the third form verb because that is a holdover of Anglo-Saxon language, of grammar. It's actually Saxon grammar. Every once in a while in English, the way English works is it's a Saxon language, a Germanic language, and then we put Latin on top of it. And we're like, this is how we're going to talk because we're going to use Latin grammar on a Germanic language. But there's still some Germanic grammar that sneaks in, and he is risen as an example of that. And we still say it because it sounds old-fashioned-y and it sounds official because the Bible, that's how it was written. He is written. He is risen. So it really is. But there are examples of that in older English. Early modern English did that. And you'll see it in Shakespeare and stuff like that, which is pretty it's early modern English. And you'll see it in German. A lot of times when you're learning German in like a educational setting, they will bring this up. He is risen as proof that the language still, like the concept carries over into both languages. Ding dang do it. How you doing? What's the deal and how you feeling? How you doing?
Hey, maybe it'll be a little bit better now. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Okay.
How you doing? You're sounding clear as a bell. Clear as a bell.
Clear as a bell. I wish my thoughts were as clear.
So do I.
I
wish your thoughts were as clear.
Yeah. The base premise I'm trying to get at here is the line of logic here is I would ask, what if you believe something that it's not true? How would you know? Like if your foundation is built on something that is not true.
Oh, that's so true. Confirmation bias, man. How do you know if you're in a confirmation bias? Dude, that's so rough. You're absolutely right. Well, you get there through logical argument, right? You need to determine whether or not you're in the bamboozle. So it's difficult. It's hard sometimes, especially when it's just like, I think money exists. Well, I don't think money exists. Have you ever talked to someone about crypto and they're like, "Well, what is it? It's money." Well, what I can use it to what's backing it? What's backing the dollar? And you're like, "Oh, this is all just make believe." But we all agree already that the dollar is worth something, and we don't all agree that crypto is worth something, you know? So you have to somehow suss certain things out. Sometimes it's difficult. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
but okay, but following what you're saying, does race exist? Well, everyone says it does, so it sort of does, kind of like money. Money doesn't actually exist. We made it up. It doesn't
right.
it doesn't tie back to anything really these days except for debt, which is also made up. So it's all just something we're involved. It's a mass hysteria that we're involved in. Does that make it not real? I mean, it's clearly real. I can hold it. I can touch it. There is a thing called money, and there is a thing called race, but it's mostly bullshit.
Right. And I'll agree. I'll agree. Sure, it is likely the idea of racism is, in my mind, a vice, and it's not something that should be acted upon, and it's not something that should be a guiding principle of one's actions. So I'll give you that, but to ignore how it is used in our world is like to ignore corruption.
Money.
It's like
ignoring money.
Right.
It's like,
it's something you almost can't undo.
Yeah, it's something like I was talking about Prince a second ago. Prince, famous. He's famous for doing this. Is so weird, but he is a guy who just decided one day he doesn't believe in time. He thinks time is just a construct, and it is. What is time? What even is time? So people had a hard time interviewing him because they'd be like, okay, at 11:55 you're going to come out on stage and we're going to interview you for 5 minutes. Well, Prince could just like walk on whenever he wanted because he doesn't believe in time. He doesn't believe that clocks are real. Like, you could be eccentric like that, but it's inconvenient for everybody else, and we're all kind of involved in the mass hysteria that this is what time is. And it's difficult to be outside of that.
What if you believe something weird about time that was disadvantaging you in an argument or a particular way of thinking? Like, doesn't that become a social problem for everyone else?
It does.
Right.
Yeah, it can't. Well, I don't know. Social problem is. I mean, it could definitely inconvenience a lot of people for sure, or whoever you're dealing with. Yeah.
I want to say, let's say like, all right, let's just take one example, a big example. I think the majority population of the world, the Chinese people, right? I think that country, they believe they're a type of race. They're a type of people. Yeah.
I want to say there's 6 or 7 different races inside of China. I forget. I looked it up once. There are several races, and they have racism between those races. Like, looking in, you might not notice it, but when I lived in China, they talked about it. I forget the names of their races, but they also have like, and guess which ones are the ones that are, guess which Chinese people are considered the superior race by racists in China? Can you guess?
Probably the ones that are in power, I would say.
Yeah, the ones in power, the ones with light skin, and the ones taller than the others ones.
Based. All right. That's we have to boil it down. Otherwise, if we would literally stay in the weeds all day. Race is a very dumb thing. It's like talking about tall people versus short people.
Yes.
It's not interesting once you sort of get a grasp on it. It's really not. It is fucking stupid, and I agree. But it's also valuable in that it gives us a frame of reference on how other people who don't think the same way we have, the way they don't think the same thoughts we do because they don't have the same background. It's valuable in that it's predictive.
But culture and socioeconomic status are much more likely to are better markers of prediction. Like if you had, I don't know, if you had 100 poor people and 100 rich people, it'd be a lot easier to predict how their lives would go, right?
I'm not interested in the slightest of race breakdowns of what that does inside the country. I don't give the slightest. I mean what this means in terms of geopolitical type shit. You know what I mean? I'm thinking big picture. I don't care if a black man is 20,000 times more likely to rob and steal in my country. If he does that, he's going to prison. You know what I mean? That's just my thing. That's like, We have the
Okay.
rules. We have all of this shit already here for the micro. I'm talking macro scale.
Yeah. But
And
tell me what you're but I don't know where you're going with this. Tell me what you mean then. Cuz
well,
if we're going to talk
I see
macro.
right on the big stage. We've got Chinese people that know they're Chinese, that believe they're Chinese, and they act in a way that benefits Chinese people, right? And then we have Westerners who are indoctrinated with exactly the opposite type of ideology. They have a grander ideal that they're willing to let their country burn for. I tie it to your veganism, like vegetarianism, and then we go veganism. It's a sliding scale of severity, right? You wouldn't touch meat. You wouldn't touch a delicious vegetarian meal cooked in a pot that had pig fat in it at one point, right? I mean, you're at that, or there's some of you that would. I don't know if you would yourself, but it's
I've
at
never
that
been
level
one
of
of those that are
severity,
like, I mean, it depends how gross that pot is. I mean,
right?
like I might think it's gross, but if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat it. But there's some people, you're right. There's some people that are like, I won't eat french fries because I know back in the back of the restaurant they're frying chicken wings in the same oil as the french fries. And it's like, okay, but what if you use the microwave? Or is it okay to microwave if someone microwaved a piece of flesh, is it okay to I don't know. To me that seems more like dogmatic and religious, but I don't know. Do you
Right.
really want to open up that can of beans with the vegan shit, man? Veganism is
No.
okay.
No,
So
I think the comparison is useful in terms of showing a sliding scale of how dogmatic people can be, like you said. Like you're thinking like you call a lot of shit racist, right? But you would call Nick Fuentes racist, though he would say that his points of view are for all of the people in his tribe, and he says his tribe is America.
I have seen him
Americans.
say some very bigoted shit, but
Sure.
especially about women and Jews. So I'm not like I'm not as well versed with him as I was with like Charlie Kirk. Like I did actually watch quite a bit of Charlie Kirk before he died. Nick Fuentes, not really. I haven't really watched that much except for like, when he comes up and he pops his head up in fairly more, in more mainstream places. He's never ever in full mainstream, right? But he was on Piers Morgan, he was on Tucker Carlson, and I've watched a couple of his YouTube shorts and stuff that he posted too. But mostly I would say he's very weird about women, and he's a little obsessed with Jewish people, and I think that's terrible.
Well, that would be the ultimate place we're going is the JQ, the Jewish question. Is like, why are we allowing ourselves
Is that what you
to be
guys call
bent
the
over?
JQ?
It's
Jesus.
JQ essentially, but that's like, yeah, and
Ugh.
even that's on the spectrum, my guy, for real. It's like,
That's
I don't
gross.
know.
Because that's how you get to the final
It's funny.
solution. The final solution
No,
was the answer to the
that's a
Jewish
path there.
question.
You're right. Yeah, there's always these paths there, and I get why it's
That's
so
why they
hard
called. That's why
to
they called it the
approach.
final solution. Was because it was the final
Right.
solution to the Jewish
It
problem. They
could
called it, or
if
Frage Problem.
unrestrained, yeah, absolutely, those arguments could arise if they're unrestrained. But we
Okay,
have
but
like other
I don't know why.
other
Okay, let
things.
me back up because we're going down a different rabbit hole than I thought you were trying to go down to. So like let me get where you're coming from on this East versus West thing. Because I lived in Japan and I spent a lot of time in Taiwan. And I say that I lived in Taiwan. I was there for a long time, and I went to supermarkets, and I didn't have a job there, but I did have a job in Japan. And I would call those both Eastern countries, wouldn't you? Taiwan and
Sure.
Japan. Okay.
I mean, I call everything outside of the United States Mexico. So
Oh,
yeah,
great.
whatever's easiest.
Uh, but you have East versus West is how you were kind of framing it originally, saying that the people over there are diametrically opposed to the people over here in their, I don't know, in their outlook or what they desire. What are you thinking they're doing differently than we're doing to the
Well,
point where you think that we're so
willing to
different?
use their yeah, they're willing to use their race as a sort of way to be clannish and extract from us in a way that we're not willing to be able to at least have our defenses up.
Why do you
Yeah.
think they're will? What makes you think that that they're willing to use their race in order to stick it to the rest? You with me?
I've got.
Oh, man, you're dropping out again. I really wanted to know the answer to that question.
We're cutting out again.
Yeah, we're cutting out again. Dang it. I really wanted to know, ding, dang, do, what your answer to that question was. Let me ask the chat, do you think, is he trying to say they're more patriotic? I don't want to speak for him, but I think what he's trying to say is that they are more willing to identify racially with their country, like saying that Chinese is a race. But they don't think Chinese is a race. We think Chinese is a race. The Japanese maybe a little more so. Island cultures are weird, that's for sure. But the Japanese, first of all, it's more diverse than you think. And the Japanese have had their immigration laws, and their tough immigration laws have screwed them, and also their racism has screwed them. I mean, last century they tried to take over the world, and a lot of countries still hate Japan because of it. So I don't think no immigration problem in Japan. No, they have a huge. Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
Paul G says no immigration. They have a huge immigration problem in Japan. They have, and it's lack thereof. They're trying to attract people to move to Japan now. So if you want to live in Japan right now, now's the time. Now's the time to do it, because they're having a massive issue, like population, and now they're having to overcorrect, which sucks. It's going to be painful. It's going to be really painful in Japan. Are you with me?
I am. The issue that arises in the West whenever you don't have a natural defense against the type of thing that I'm saying exists, I think it does clearly exist, is you get that sort of that gentleman, that Chinese national guy that was in Texas. You get that type of shit, which is just race communism. Like, why are white people so susceptible to race communism? It's because there's an ideology at play that is put there to disadvantage them in talking about their group interests.
I think I'll counter that. I think that the reason why it is perceived, and it's not just by us. Like, man, I was watching the show where this guy in Nigeria, he looked straight at the camera after this woman lied to him, and he looked straight at the camera with no irony whatsoever in his voice or in his face, and he says, "I thought white people always told the truth." And of course, like, I cracked up laughing. And I think the reason why there are, and I think white people think about this about themselves, and just Western Europeans, that we think that because our philosophy, our philosophical journey as a people, that it relies heavily on ideas of fair play and liberalism, which, working within the system but giving everyone a shot, and that fair play will equal meritocracy. Fair play will mean that the best will rise to the top. That is like the way Western hierarchies work. We think that if we are just the referees and we ensure that everyone has a shot, that the best will win. I think that's why you get into situations where you say, well, white people are not working in their own interests. Well, yeah, that's because Western philosophy relies heavily on this idea of fair play.
Okay, we don't have to argue that. I could just argue the other end of. On the other end of that is, like, we're advantaging other groups over ourselves en masse in a way that's clearly going to be suicidal to our nations in the future.
If that were true, we would already see white people on some lower rung, but we don't. We still see largely, I mean, sure, there are more black people.
Below Indians, below Chinese. White people are like middle of the pack in the
Where?
United States right now. here
Oh, you
in our
mean like
country.
like people who are racially identify as Chinese or Indian, like they're Asian basically. You're saying that Asian people have a better shot here. Um,
I'm talking about average incomes in the United States.
you're saying that Asian people have a higher average income than white people in the United States, or we're on par or
Yes,
something. Okay,
and
so
Indians.
yeah, Indians are Asian, right? So, if we take if we just I'll just say let's just say that's true. That Indians and Asians, let's just Asian people are making more money on average than white people in the United States. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's obviously not racism. We're not keeping them down, so
Not as much as we
maybe
used to,
something's
that's for
uplifting them
sure.
up.
So
Maybe
what's let's
they're being artificially lifted up at the cost of one group over another.
I would probably say maybe you're right, but what's that art? What is that mechanism doing that? If we say you're right, what would you point to and say that that's what's doing it? Because I have ideas. When you say that, if we accept that that's true, that there's some mechanism propping up Asians so that they are on par or even higher than white people as far as income is concerned. What mechanism do you think is where's the smoking gun? I guess.
It's the anti-white hate that you
Oh my
have.
gosh, really? That's what you
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
Interesting. Let me ask the chat. Everybody, if you believe, let's just believe straight up without even don't look it up or anything. If you believe, if it's true that Asian people in America are making on average the same or more than white people in the United States, why? What is the smoking gun here? Why? Okay, we got a couple already. Asian tiger moms. Okay, that's a cultural thing. Tiger moms. It's a real thing. Helicopter moms and tiger moms. That's just shit, man. I knew a lot of Asian women who had kids and they acted that way. That's for sure. Asians don't leave their children to the public school system. They'll move. Asian people will actually move to a place with good public schools. I think white people do that too, though. I don't know. Okay, that's a good question. No bad ideas here. We're sandboxing. Asians have U.S. have us crackers beat money wise in the United States. Okay. Why is the question? If we say that's true, why? Like these calls with him. Capitalism. Come on, Ben. Ben, you could always call in, my friend. I'd love to have you on the show. I really would. Everybody can call in. If anybody who wants to criticize Steve, please call in. Capitalism. I mean, I'm sure Steve would be perfectly willing to give everybody. He always has given other people space if they want to come in. So, capitalism is doing an injustice to America and its citizens. If you look at white Americans, they own more businesses and outsource the jobs that could have benefited an American. Ooh, Josh! Wow, that I think would play into Steve's idea that white people aren't looking out for other white people. Interesting. Some people say don't care. I don't know. It's because they care about their children and they don't let their children get stupid or degress like gender studies. They get STEM degrees. Okay, that is exactly what I think is happening here. I think that culturally STEM is and what we've done as a society, and it's not just the Asian people are just drawn to STEM, is that as a society we've said we want people to study STEM in order to feed the tech bro machine, right? Become programmers. It used to be doctors and lawyers, right? Now it's programmers and whatever. Like they want people to be engineers and those types of guys, STEM. And people, ambitious immigrant class like Asians, not only are they coming to this country to study STEM, they're studying it in other countries. So like I have friends that are from India. They studied over in India. They got STEM degrees, and now they have H-1B visas in the United States, and they're making $1 million a year because they can't make that shit back in India, but they can make it here. So we're importing their brains because, well, they have public education there where they are, doing it. Doing it right.
Could I step in on the heels of that and
Yeah.
then say that H-1B visas are also coming here to work in 7-Elevens?
Oh, I mean, H-1B visas work at Mar-a-Lago. I have a friend who has an H-1B visa and works at Mar-a-Lago. So, yeah, and he's a bartender.
Right.
So,
So these people are being brought in by the state to
Yeah.
depress the wages of the locals and then basically just send money back home in remittances, and that's, to me, that looks like a systemic disadvantage of the native population.
Yeah, and it's a hypocrisy
System.
because the policy makers are the very people who are talking like you, right? The people who are afraid of the white class or claim to care about the white man, they're the ones writing these policies.
Yes. We were betrayed. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like
100%.
it's not like the Democrats or the liberals woke up and wanted to bring in a bunch of immigrants on H-1B
I think
visas
they're
so we
just
can.
more honest about it. I think the lefties are just more honest about their anti-white hate.
Ooh, I mean, that's an interesting idea, but I don't think that you require anti-white hate when we have the oligarchs telling us that we need more STEM degrees and that we're willing to pay for it in the salary, but we're not willing to train anybody. We're willing to pay your salaries, these crazy salaries. So if you go anywhere in the world and get a STEM degree, and you come to the United States, we're going to pay you a shitload of money. That's the advertisement. That's on the billboard, right, for America. If you study STEM anywhere in the world, you can come here and we'll pay you fuckloads of money. And if you're in India where you can go to school for free, and if you have a little bit of money, you could go to a good university. Well, you've got a one up on every American, not just the whites. Every American is fucked because we can't afford to go. I'm still paying for my student loans. I'll be paying them till I die. And you know, it used to be that, like, if my grandfather wanted to go, my grandfather lived in California. If he wanted to go to Berkeley, he could have gone for free. My father lived in California. He was born in California. No, he was born in Nebraska, but he moved to California when he was 13. He could have gone to Berkeley for free. But because my family was construction family and kind of, you know, salt of the earth type folks, my grandfather was a farmer, they didn't think of going to university because they were working, you know, like they were working their asses off.
All right, you've identified the problem that I've identified. We both think it's a problem, yes?
Yes, I just don't think we agree at all on it's because of white
well,
hate.
Then I want you. Okay. Okay, well, then
I agree.
We can just say it's economic then. But, okay, give me...
Yeah, like most things, I think, are
Give me the acceptable form of how do we fight it. Probably, you might be right. I don't know. How do we fight it from the skyjack position without it being problematic? What do we say?
Do you want me to be like reasonable steps, or do you want me to give you the honest answer of how to fight it? Like, if we want to be reasonable,
I don't think you're going to be able to actually do it because I think you're going to.
All right, so if we're reasonable. Okay, let me start. The extreme version. How do we fight this? The extreme version is cut off all the billionaires' heads, take all their tech away, stop doing this shit with everyone, training children how to be computers, stop this worship of STEM. We have computers that are better than children at STEMs. Perfect. Let's just get rid of all of the oligarchs, all of the billionaires, stop doing business with Israel. Most of its GDP comes from AI and tech. Most of these guys are the same dudes that you hate. You just don't realize they're the same guys who are sitting on the boards of all these horrible companies that you hate. Get rid of them, and get rid of them by any means necessary. Or the reasonable would be to defund the military and realize that our greatest national security issue is the fact that we're not educating our children, and have education be absolutely free to anybody who wants it, anybody who can cut it, anybody who could sit still in a chair, anybody who can show up every day, anybody can go to university. Make it so ridiculously free that everybody wants to go, so that we have the smartest people in the world. And then you won't have to have H-1B visas. You won't have to have J-1 visas anymore. That's my reason. That's
the shit for everything, though, bro.
Cut off the billionaires' heads. Yeah.
Prescription for all the L's. Okay. Well, basically, basically no ability to discriminate against a group that is willing to, once they are in a position that is superior to ours, they will discriminate. They will not be kind.
Who?
We're gonna wish that we didn't.
Who are you talking
Once
about?
China is the world hegemon, they're not going to be as kind as we were.
Why are we making them that? Why are we making them the hegemon? That's our doing. We're doing that. That's the
Yeah.
problem, Steve. Like, I agree. I would rather have America in charge than the Chinese. You know, I'd rather have China not be the world power. But America is fucking its people so hard that it's inevitable that China is going to be the next superpower. And they might be the only superpower come time. They might be the only one.
This may or may not be correct, but the reason why they did it is because they didn't think that race was real. They didn't think that these problems were going to rear their ugly heads once everybody was rich in the whole world. But lo and behold, actually,
Everyone
racism
isn't rich.
is real.
Everyone isn't rich. Like Parallelist says, when were we kind? Ben for Berlin, as kind as we were. When were we kind? We
Think about how
massacred
evil
people.
we are. Think about how evil we are. Then put that power in the hands of China and think about them having their restraint.
I will say
they're going to show the same level of restraint as they did with the Uyghur Muslims. Parallelish, you fool.
Well, we did the same thing to we did the same to the Japanese and the Indians. I mean, how far back you want to go? But if we just look at the last 100 years, right? Because a lot of times people call it the American century. I tend to do that as well. From 1945, post Nagasaki, right? After Nagasaki, we have a weird world where we're starting to have trials for Nazis. We're not just going to hang you. We're going to give you a trial. We're going to convince everybody that this is the only way. We start thinking about leagues of nations and United Nations. We're gonna do things. A new world order comes where might doesn't make right, and we're gonna build these things. But it all kind of fizzled out by 2 generations later. 2 generations is all it took for us to have enough social and economic anxiety to tear down all our institutions, throw out all those things I just mentioned, and hand over the reins to a different so we do it all over again. You're right. China will be like the United States in 1925, and that ain't good. And then it'll be good for 50 years later, and then 50 years after that, we'll be doing this all over again, because it seems like that's what humanity does.
I like Parallelish. He's so stupid. Like, think about
Come on.
what we could have done. Think about what we could have done on Iran. What we could have done there. Think
We've
about
killed
that. What we could
thousands
still
of
do there.
people.
How many multiple times could we make that worse? Easily, without ever sending a single person there. How many?
Yeah, but we're cowards. If we did that, that would give everyone. We've already created a permission structure to kill Americans. What would you think would happen, Steve? What would the rest of the world do? And the rest of the world together could fuck us. They wouldn't have to They wouldn't have to shoot one bullet. They just have to stop buying American shit. Like, that would happen so quickly, man. Like. And that could happen in any moment, and that's probably what's gonna happen, and why China's gonna take the reins.
If anyone else in the whole universe, any other power prosecuted that war, do you think that they would have shown half of the restraint that we did? Would they have shown even 10% of the restraint?
It's not. You can't say it's restraint. If I punch a baby in the face for no reason, you can't say I showed restraint because I didn't break his brain out the back. Like, I still punched the baby in the face, right? That's not restraint.
Okay. But if the next cellmate would have chopped its head off, there's a slight difference.
But that's all conjecture. We don't have any evidence the Chinese are going to do anything like that to another country. Again, we're the only country who's ever bombed anybody with a nuclear weapon. We're the only country who's done a preemptive strike against anybody. Like, what other country has done a preemptive strike in the last 100 years? Japan? That was not in the last 100 years. I guess 1941. Okay,
years?
You're right. 1941 was a preemptive strike against the United States in Pearl Harbor. So and they had so Pearl Harbor. So empirical, the Japanese Empire and the Nazi Empire are the only ones in the last 100 years I can think of doing preemptive strikes besides us. Maybe the English with the Falkland Islands or whatever, because the Argentina was doing, but that even wasn't a preemptive strike. Argentina moved first. So, like, Can anybody tell me, please, because I'm digging in my memories. Can anybody tell me in the last 100 years, outside of the Axis powers, anybody that did a preemptive strike and invaded somebody else? Everybody expected China to invade Taiwan, and they never did it. You're right. Chiang Kai-shek died of old age. Yeah, Germany. Nazi Germany. Not okay. Let's since 1945, post Nagasaki. Post Nagasaki, has any country invaded another country except Russia. Russia has. There you go. Russia has done it. Great. We're like the Russians. Yes, Russia. You're absolutely right. Russia. Russia and the United States are the only countries that have invaded other countries and done preemptive strikes. But we're afraid of the Chinese. Like the call is coming from within the house. And now, cutie patootie beauty.
All the right break bad.
Say what? You're breaking up again. Shit, I can't hear you. Yeah, and Putin's making out for this. I mean, everyone's surprised that Putin's making out for this Iran thing, but Donald Trump works for Vladimir Putin, everybody. I don't know why people are still surprised by that. What, Vladimir Putin's making money? Yeah, of course he is. UK did provoke Argentina, and it's murky who shot first. It is. I had a friend who was on the Special Army Service, SAS. Is that what they call it? They're like the kind of SEALs, right? They're like the Rangers or something, or maybe it was SBS. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And he was a friend of mine when I lived in Virginia, and he was English, and he said it was fucking murky, like crazy, like there was a lot of friendly fire and stuff in Falkland Islands. But okay, it's a little murky. I think I'm just trying to think of like major conflicts in the world, and it always seems to be Russia or the United States doing it. Yeah, SAS and SBS, right? Special Boat Service and Special Army Service. Is that what? He was one of those, and he said they did a pincher maneuver on the island, and they ended up shooting at each other. He said he saw some horrible stuff, and he was like damaged person. SAS, yeah.
All right, I'll be back. Hey, I have a question.
Oh, now I can hear you. All of a sudden, I can hear you.
We know how the right wing, these arguments I'm making can break bad. We know where those dragons lie, right? But we don't know. But on the left, this sort of idea of no country, no people, no religion, all of this sort of like wash the history away shit. That's obviously, well, it's not good, because we're gonna get stomped on by a bigger power eventually if we keep that up forever.
It's funny you want to, like, I don't think it's about erasing the history. I think it's about understanding and contextualizing the history and learning from it. And I think when we learn from it, we do things that are more measured in our responses. We're more clever. We're more methodical, and cooler heads prevail. And we know the difference between hot rage and cold rage, right? A hot rage, like, just goes crazy and shoots his wife because she called him an asshole or something. Cold rage, like the woman is plotting this man's murder for a year and does it and gets away with it, right? The cold rage has its advantages. The being calculated has its advantages, and you can only do that by understanding the long tail of history. You can't erase history, and you shouldn't. We need to have history, or else we'll lose the future. But what's the solution? I want to hear solutions instead of just finger pointing. Well, I mean, I gave my solution. Solution to which problem now? Now we're all over the place. I don't know, but I guess, like, if you're talking about the solution as to let's not have China be the bosses, let's stop handing power to China. I mean, it's a pretty simple solution. We keep handing them all the power, and then we're shocked. And we keep handing Russia more power, and then we're shocked. And we keep treating the world like it's a zero-sum game, and it isn't. This world does not need to be divided up into winners and losers. There's enough for all of us on Spaceship Earth. We could all be winners. We could also all be wieners. So, yeah. Maddie just got there. It's okay, Maddie. I still love you. Steve, what were you going to say?
Does it make sense that I'm saying that your ideas might be too far to the left, and somewhere in the middle is likely the right idea?
That's what they always say, and yet we just keep going down the same path. So I think that, again, don't forget history, right? Like, everyone always says somewhere down the middle is probably the right way, and yet the media and everybody else always says, don't go too far left. Don't get rid of money. Don't get rid of capitalism. Don't get rid of the oligarchs. Don't get rid of the bosses. Don't kill your managers. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about paychecks. Don't talk about, don't talk about politics in bars. They're so terrified of us finding out how much the bosses make because they know that we'll chop off their heads if we find out, enough of us find out and actually start thinking about this shit. So the measure, like this middle ground, I'm done with it. I'm sick of the middle ground. That's how you get Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Or even worse, how about Bush? How about Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, and then Clinton running again? We're back to, we're England. We have oligarchs and aristocracy now. We have divine right of kings. I'm waiting for Chelsea Clinton to run. We have a fucking Kennedy in the White House right now, and he ran for president, and now he's head of fucking Health and Human Development or whatever it's called, Health and Human Services.
All right, there's something there. I get it. My brain says I want to say that you're just like, fuck the right, but I mean the right doesn't have the same vulnerabilities in the terms of how like 900,000 fucking.
Well, you say that fuck
from the right perspective.
You say fuck the right, and I guess but I would call them all right. I think that the Democrats are right wing. I think that they're engaged in perpetrating the same crimes against humanity, the same crimes against our people and their people and Chinese people. Like they're doing the same shit. Like they gave us a choice.
There's something there. I don't know how to do it, bro. There is something to it, but I think that we can't go into the situation based on ideological grounds. It has to be like a case-by-case basis, and I don't think that killing all the elites is going to get us there. So I don't know.
Well, we haven't tried it yet, and we have only a few examples, and they were huge sea change moments, like the French Revolution, like the American Revolution. They happened right at the same time, if you think about it, same century. And they ended in bloodbaths and chaos and oligarchs, but they had more freedoms and more representation and I mean, it wasn't great, but it was better than what they had by a long shot. So it took a while to get there. It took them like 50 years after the bloodbath, just like it took us forever after the bloodbath. And then we fought 80. People forget that like 77 years ago is what Abraham Lincoln said at the Gettysburg Address. That's only 87 years. So we had a revolution, a bloodbath. And then 87 years later, we still had to have another bloodbath and another. And he suspended habeas corpus, Abraham Lincoln. He did tyrannical things. So it's not like it just fixes itself. We're on a treadmill. And the bloodbath, these big moments like the Protestant Revolution, the end of feudalism, there's all these, there's every 100 years it seems we have these big moments. The third rise and fall of the Third Reich. We have these massive things that happen, and then it takes 60 years for us to all forget and have anxiety and then do it all over again. I feel like that's coming up.
But what we didn't ever have in the past was mass communication. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have memes. We didn't have.
Yeah, it's true. But look what we've done with it. So that I think is why it seems to be happening more quickly. But don't forget, speed is the tool of the fascist, and so maybe they can exert control over us more easily with that speed as a weapon with the dromosphere. But that also means we might get pushed to the brink more quickly because of it, which means we might have more and more of these die-off events, like these pandemics and these bloodbaths. It might happen more frequently as time goes by.
Total. Like, how many political motivating attacks have happened in our country? As bad as things are, it's not even 1,000. It's not even 1,000 yet, and it's. Yeah. You could probably spread that over 50 years. It's just not happening. It's just not there. There's no will to genocide. There's no fucking gas chambers going for the Jews. There's no putting black people back in slavery. It's not doesn't fucking exist, dude. It's not real.
Well, it's interesting you bring up black people because in black intellectual circles they are talking about the nadir, which is like, are you familiar with that idea, the nadir? You ever heard that term?
I'm not.
Okay, so nadir is just a term of like, it's the opposite of a zenith, right? Like, or a paramount. The zenith is the highest point on a curve, and the nadir is the lowest point. And there's the nadir moment for lots of things, but for African Americans, and it happens around Jim Crow. So after slavery, quote unquote, ended, right after abolition, it wasn't so bad for blacks. All of a sudden, there weren't all these laws about how to treat black people, and it got weird. They were poor, and no one knew what the fuck to do, and you had sharecroppers, and it was weird, and people just started trying to figure it out. It's just all that happened is it's against the law to own black people now. Okay, what do we do? And they started figuring it out. But one of the things that happened over a course of many years, all of a sudden, was, okay, well, we're going to pass laws about what black people can own, and when black people can vote, and how they can vote, and we'll have tests on who can vote, and then we'll also have laws about it's legal to hang black people right away. It's legal for white people to do this. You guys didn't say that was illegal, and so their rights actually went down. They sprung up after abolition, and then they went deep down, and they call that the nadir. And because of that point, they know that they can win back rights, they can get the civil rights movement and all these other things, but they know it's precarious, they know it's fragile, and they can go right back down to the bottom again. And with certain things that are happening with Donald Trump, a lot of people in black intellectual circles are saying we're headed towards another nadir for blacks.
So you're telling me black intellectual circles are not very high quality? All right, fantastic. Thank you.
No, I'm not. They're reading the writing on the wall, and they're contextualizing it with historical events.
You think I give the slightest hoot what some black feminist thinks about masculinity?
Not masculinity. It's not about masculinity.
Am I going to go seek out that? I'm just asking. The black feminist has an opinion on masculinity. In any way, is anybody going to seek that opinion out other than you, sir? You care. You're the only one. The people like you, you're the only people in all of the West that actually give a fuck what these people say. That's why, I mean, you're not in a good position.
I like
your
hearing
point
people
of privilege card is being thrown out. It's done.
My privilege is that I can hear both sides and try to make arguments about them. Oh, Parallelish, thank you so much. Parallelish just dropped a big tip in the jar. Let me see.
He's a sweetie pie.
I feel like Steve is racist out of practicality. Racism is real, and why act like it doesn't exist? And why not try to take advantage of being the dominant race in your country, even if you feel like society is working to put you down? I don't agree with this.
Well, I mean, he's on to like 80%. There's like the baseline of racism. I see a black person. I see a black person. I don't have any control over my brain. I'm just not like Sky. I haven't trained myself with 500 different books and texts and tomes of how to kill that portion of my brain that wants to see a black person. So, yeah.
It doesn't, I didn't kill any part of my brain. I grew up around black people, and I find that through my travels more than my books. You're right, I've read a lot of books, but through my travels more than my books, I realized that people are the same everywhere. So when we talked, that's the first thing I wanted to say when you started talking about the East and the West. I was like, man, I lived in those places, and people are pretty much the same. They're trying to live their lives, get laid, be left alone by the government. Yeah. Most of people around the world, they want to live their lives, be left alone by the government, and get laid, and fuck who they want to fuck. They don't want the government telling them who they can love. They don't want the government in their shit. Most people all over the world, everywhere I've been.
And that is 90% of all the people in the whole world. But there's this small minority of people who will use whatever weapon, including race, including gender ideologies, to get an advantage and beat the shit out of whoever they need to beat the shit out of to get money.
Yeah, we need to kill those people.
And if we can't, well...
That's why it's okay to punch Nazis in the face. That's why it's okay to punch Nazis in the face. for exactly what
Okay,
you just
well, it's
described.
okay to punch a Nazi in the face. It's okay for me to punch one of these fucking feminists in the face. Wants to sit there and say you can't play video games, white boy. You owe me. No, I'm gonna punch you.
What
Same
feminist has
idea.
told you not to play?
No,
what
you don't like
feminist has
that.
told you not to play video games? What are you talking about? Feminists don't
Playing
want you to
this
stop
guy.
taking.
Assume I've never seen it.
What? Feminists don't want you to stop playing video games.
Anita Sarkeesian. Oh, get out of my. Okay.
I don't know who she is. You've mentioned her a couple times. I guess I got to look her up. I saw Angela Davis mentioned in the chat. Angela Davis doesn't care if you play video games. I think that playing too many video games might be. I don't know, man. Do what you want to do, but I think that I don't think that's a feminist position trying to get men to stop playing video games. I think that intellectual
it was old hat feminism. Yeah.
Academics will often look at stuff and be like, okay, well, there's young boys who look at women as objects. Why? And then they start looking at arts. It's always art. If we and I include video games in the arts. Okay, it's clearly an art to make a video game, and everyone does this. That's what the fucking right wing does too. Oh, men and kids are having sex at young ages and having teen pregnancies. It must be TV. Why? It must be kids are coming out as gay. It must be because they put a gay person in a TV show. Like, they do the same shit. So I don't know. Everybody does that. I'm against that. I don't think that art has that type of influence like that it's gonna. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't think men objectify women because of video games. I think men objectify women because their dads did.
Okay.
I think
or they could just learn a lot about women and realize they don't really, they don't really have high quality ideas. So
neither do men.
Shut up is perfectly well.
Men don't have good ideas either. Women invented all sorts. A woman invented Kevlar. Like things that we use every day. And women wrote some of the greatest novels ever written. I just read Wuthering Heights. It's fucking brilliant. It's one of the most brilliant fucking novels I ever read, and I'm embarrassed that it took so long to read it. Because I just wasn't into like the Bronte sisters when I was in college, and I was more of I read a lot of Shakespeare and stuff. I was very into Shakespeare, but I read a lot of Americans. And I just didn't. I read a little bit of the Bronte sisters, but I just wasn't turned on by it. And I read Wuthering Heights. It's fucking brilliant. And she published it under a man's name in order to get it out. So history being what it is, why are men objectifying women? I don't know that all men do that. Maybe we all do it to some degree. Maybe it's a spectrum, Steve. But
maybe I could go through my text messages and show you that. For some reason, I'm the guy who's got to do $50 so they can get their nails did. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe not. I don't know. But when it comes to $50 and someone getting their freaking nails did, it's me. I'm the one who's paying that. So whatever. Okay.
I don't know. I never really got
I'm a bad guy. I'm a sexist.
I don't know that. I don't know that makes you a sexist, dude. Right now I'm going through a breakup, and I haven't been feeling very pro lady lately, and I have to keep myself in check. I have to keep myself in check because I'm like, fucking bitches, because that comes in my head, right? Like, of course, that I'm a man. I think like that sometimes. Like, God, these bitches, they've done nothing but wrong me. I've had nothing but pain and sorrow from the hands of these bitches. But then I have to go, well, they're experiencing bad dudes, and like I haven't always been perfect, and men and women, the complications of our relationships are vast and numerous, right? Like, I don't think that I can say that women. Navia says, "I hope I am not objectified." I don't know how it happens, really. I know that people study it. I don't think it's video games' faults, but I do think that men like beautiful women, and women tall, handsome men. So there's something there, right? Something. I mean, women do it too. Look at these. I don't have any dating profiles, but I've seen dating profiles. When I got divorced, I got on Tinder for a hot second, and there's all these women that are like under 6 feet. No, it's like, who the fuck are you? But then men are saying no fatties or shit like that. So
It's perfect. We're meant for each other. It's like we're almost exact opposites.
it's almost like a left and right shoe. It's like they're opposites, but they're also identical. You know, they're symmetrical. You know, and we're always looking for that left. If a man is the left shoe, we're always looking for the right shoe. Largely, and this is in heteronormative blah blah blah, right? But like, even if it's not based on gender, you're always looking for that right shoe. That's someone who's like you but the opposite of you, right? But I think men, like, if I look at how I was raised, and my father, I remember my father, I was on a construction site because I was working on a construction site, and these guys were whistling at a woman walking by, and my dad fucking went over there, and he was like fucking red faced, like angry at them. I thought that was so weird, and he's like, "You don't whistle at women. You don't do that." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
What?
Yeah, you don't whistle at women. They want to be left alone. You don't whistle at them. You don't have the if you don't have the courage to go talk to one, then don't whistle from afar. Go talk to them.
Okay. Your dad
And-
sounds like a pussy. I'm sorry.
How is that a pussy? I think that, I mean, he almost got in a fight over it. I don't think it was a pussy thing to do.
Yeah, it sounds like women don't like to be admired. Hello,
Women don't like cat calls.
They love catcalls. What are you talking about?
I don't think.
Sir,
let me know.
There's a whole genre of videos of women setting up their phones so they can watch men watch them while they work out. You're gonna say, they don't like that?
Did I say 6 inches? I meant 6 feet. I meant 6 feet tall. Did I say inches? That's so funny. No, they want 9 inches. Did I say inches or feet? I don't know what I said. Not on my job site. Either automatically fired. Yeah, co-sider says the same thing. You get it's harassment. But I'll tell you this. But when there were a bunch of men around and they were talking about women, they would do the whole ranking system and talk about women and like talk shit about, yeah, she's so hot, I'd give it to her. Or I remember this guy once, this older guy said, I wouldn't fuck her with your dick. And I'm like, I thought that was such a weird thing to say. Such a weird thing to say. So it wasn't like they weren't objectifying women. They were just against harassing women. There you might have something. Yeah, and so I think about why do we objectify women, and then I think I'm really going through this right now. Honestly, this is personal shit, and I'll tell you, because of my breakup, I remember when I got divorced. I was like, I didn't want anything to do with women, right? I'm never gonna do anything with women again, you know, and it was hard for me to find most women attractive because I was in so much pain. I just saw pain and suffering every time I saw a pretty. And it took me a while. And then I started thinking a lot about, well, why do I only find these types of girls pretty and not those other types? And it's like, oh, because Kate Moss was the biggest model at the time, and that was in my head when I was growing up. Or, you know, even G.I. Joe, like Scarlett. I always thought that Scarlett and the Baroness and G.I. Joe were so hot. And it's like, maybe the arts did kind of give me my idea of beauty, but I don't think they gave me my objectification of women. What do you think? That's my thesis right now.
No.
Art might teach you who you think is beautiful, but I don't think
Bullshit.
art makes you depending on what age you get it too. I don't think art or video games makes you objectify women.
All right, so here's what we do. We have 10 kids. They're born, and all they ever see is a 500-pound black disabled female. And they're going to think that 500-pound black disabled females are the hottest thing ever whenever they're adults.
Dude, sometimes, I mean, what is that culturally? Some cultures like big, beautiful women. They don't like skinny little waifs. They don't like the heroin chic. Like, I don't know why that happens. I would imagine it's because their moms were big, beautiful women, and that their moms weren't heroin chic. My mom was not heroin chic, but I was raised with Kate Moss in my head. You know, I always saw Kate Moss as this. She was so famous when I was like a freshman in high school,
We have a revealed preference. We have information on dating apps on what people find attractive, and I wonder if what you're saying is actually true. And unless I highly doubt it. We could bring Grok into the chat. We'll see what they have to say.
What people say they find attractive is also subject to scrutiny, because there have been lots of studies about people who go and get who go pick out pictures of art or pictures of women, and they say if you don't have to explain it, they'll pick the one that they actually like. But if you tell them before they pick, they got to explain why they like each one, they'll pick the one that is the stereotype. It's like a very well documented phenomenon. If you have to explain your preferences, you'll pick the one that you know everyone else likes. If you don't have to explain it, you'll pick the one that you actually like.
Well, fantastic. We have that information in dating apps already, so we could find out the answer of how many. If it's just completely random, what you find truly attractive. It's going to be the same shit. It's going to be 90% of men are going to fall along one category. It's the golden ratio of height, hip width, breast size, face symmetry. It's going to be all the same.
I don't know. I don't look at women that way. I don't think that, but maybe I'm a weirdo too. That's fair. That might be too, because we've already established I'm weird. Yeah. Because like when I was in Vegas, you'd get these women that were like the club girls, and they're like, they look exactly how you imagine like one of those types of models, right? They're top heavy, the golden ratio, if you will, something like that. But those weren't the girls that I was into. I was like the funny girls. They had a sense of humor, and like when those, I don't know. I've dated all different shapes and sizes, so I guess maybe I'm just too open. I think movies. Jimmy Backhand says I think movies and video games. Music play into how you feel about women, but I agree that it mostly comes from whatever father figures you had. For sure, man. Like, my father was a construction man. His best friend was a construction man, and they had a cop friend. And the black family that was like on my block, I had two black families on my block, but one was like a big family, cousins and everything else. Sometimes you got those big black families all living in a house together, and they were three cops. All black, and the way the dudes talked about women when the women weren't around, that like I think shaped me more than a video game.
Shaped? What are we saying here, Scott? You're like, have you ever had an IQ test, bro? You're probably
a long time ago.
The top 20, top 20, top 10.
Something like that. That. I wanted to be a Mensa. I wanted to be in Mensa, so I took that test and I got like a high score. And then I decided that Mensa is a fascist organization that I hate, so I didn't do it.
Okay.
But
so you're extremely atypical. Yeah, of course. Like I don't know how could you even sympathize with what a 100 IQ man would find attractive in a female.
I see a lot of guys that are like that, and they have big fat wives that they love dearly. They love them, and they have mothers of their children that they love, and they'll say when they're with the boy, because when I worked for Anheuser-Busch, the guys that are like, man, we all talk like this, and we all drive tractor, we all got they all talk really like, and some of these tractor trailer drivers, and we'd all be drinking beers at the end. I'd be the one wearing a tie, and I'd be all like looking all dandy and shit, and they'd always make fun of me. But we loved each other. They gave me shit, and I gave them shit. And especially when Trayvon Martin got shot, holy fuck, man! These guys, I didn't even know. I didn't even know them all of a sudden because of when Trayvon happened. That really divided us. But we hang out by the warehouse and drink beers afterwards, and they would say shit, yeah, like because do you remember Chive? The app Chive was kind of new, and you can look at pretty girls on the internet, and they would all show like, oh man, I love this. She's gonna have back problems in the future. I love that. Look at that. Oh my god, and they would say this shit. But they all had like normal looking wives, and they loved them. They had kids with them. Like, do you think there's a difference between wanting to look at beautiful women on the internet and wanting to have someone safe that you can be silly and vulnerable with at home?
Well, I mean, those are two separate things. Like we're talking about men's sexual preference versus like a life partner type situation, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we only objectify those women that look that certain way. Maybe we don't objectify, Phil's wife. Phil's wife, she's a good woman. Right? Men have that in them. They can see Billy Bob's wife. Billy Bob's wife is a good woman. She gave him 2 beautiful children. She holds down the fort when he's at work. I love that woman so much. She's a real woman. And still go to work and talk about, I don't know, Pamela Anderson or something, young Pamela Anderson, about how much they love her tits or something. Guys do that.
yeah. Do you think
So
Pamela
yeah.
Anderson has any say in the matter when she's walking around with those Tego bitties and the bikinis? I mean, come on.
Does she have a say? I mean, I don't
Did
know.
she not take part? Did she not sell her sex?
She did.
Yes,
She was a Playboy model, right? I mean, that's a little bit different than someone who's just not a Playboy model walking down the street and being howled out by construction workers. I think there's a major
Okay.
difference there,
Okay,
right?
agreed. Sure.
I mean, I don't know. Dude, men are gross. Men can be gross, but it seems like I think women do the same thing. Because I'll tell you, when, again, I'm talking from Vegas times, we would have women. I'll tell you what, a bachelorette party at a Vegas bar versus a bachelor party at a Vegas bar, very different phenomena. And the women were fucking bonkers, crazy, rude, insane, loud, wild, doing crazy shit that you would like make your skin curl. And the dudes are like, "Hey, we're cool, guys. Yeah, we're really cool. Yeah. Oh man, you're gonna miss it, huh? You're gonna miss all that. Let's go to the strip club and hang loose, cut loose." But I think the women are just as bad. Like, I guess people say men are nasty creature. I think the women are just as bad as we are. Yeah, parallelish. Here you go. Women definitely objectify men too, just not as much or as extreme. Well, when you're not around, they do. When I was a manager, I could hear their conversations. I could hear what they're saying. It's kind of like when I managed at the resort in California. We had this big golf course. Those golf buddies, the shit they say about their wives. I'm like, these are women that you kiss and tell them that you love them. You talk about these actual women. That's far worse to me. That's a far worse betrayal than looking at a OnlyFans model or something. Talking shit on your wife. And like, I could hear all of that. Same thing with the women. They do the same thing. They say horrible shit about people that they say they love. I find that to be
was rotten. Oh,
your mother was rotten.
It's a rotten woman. I don't know why she didn't. She died naturally, but she's like, "Fuck, you're this unhappy. It's time to just call it quits." She couldn't be happy about anything. But I mean, I guess I learned a lot from her. But terrible.
Acid House says, "Is Sky Canadian? I'd like to know more about your mom. Why do you why was she so gross, and why what did she do that made you think?"
I could give you stories that would curl your skin. You would cringe secondhand just from the stories I'm half remembering, bro. It was rough. Rough.
Yeah, sounds like it. I was raised in America, but I traveled the world. If anybody's wondering where I'm from, I've lived in lots of countries, and on both sides of this state. I've lived in 3 different states. But this explains a lot, Steve. Maybe it does. I don't know. It's hard to.
Fuck you. He's probably half right. You can't really negate the fact that she had, terrible influences on me, but she's still like, okay. And one day it's like you're a very generous, caring person, and then the next you're just like, oh, I hate that person, but you just did a good thing for them. What the fuck?
Yeah. My mom wasn't like that. I get, yeah. At least not around me, man. I think the only real thing I have is that my parents, they shouldn't have been together. They stayed together, and they should have never been together. John Weed says, I dated a model in a bar fight. I dated a model, but got in a bar fight every time because when we're forcing themselves to because men were forcing themselves up to her was complicated. If I didn't step in right away, I want men enough, and if I did defend her, I was insecure. Oof. Yeah, you're insecure if you do defend her, but if you don't defend her enough, you're a pussy. Oh my god.
How do you cut that situation? See, I don't go to bars. I've had girlfriends, they wanted to go do social shit, but I'm like, we're gonna get into a fight. Do you want me to do this? Like, do you want me to fight? I have to like beat the shit or get my ass beat just to prove I'm a man? Like, why are we doing social things? Can't we just chill? No, we can't just chill. So this, like, you have to go do things with women and they have to be seen. It's crazy.
I guess. I mean, I guess I like going to have a beer with a girl. I like it.
Yeah. But like, what if she's watching you to see if like another man looked at her the wrong way, and then she wants to like see if
drop
you're
her.
going
That's
to
when
go
you drop.
God,
drop her.
yeah, that's right. Okay, well that's the right answer. That's the answer.
Like hopefully,
in my brain.
hopefully, if you go out with women, you find that out early enough that you can drop them early enough so it doesn't break your own heart, right? Like you don't want to find that shit out 6 months in or a year in, right? You don't want to find that out too late. You don't want those late breaking psychos.
I don't do that stuff anymore. I just sort of I go,
Parallelist. My wife is hot AF and have never had to or thought about fighting someone over her. Yeah, I mean, my ex-girlfriend was really hot, and one time, you're making me think of this. One time I went to this bar, and I went to the bathroom. I came back, and there was this guy sitting next to her at the bar, and I'm like, hey, who's this? Oh, she was just talking about you. Oh, that's great. So what are you doing here? Okay, we're going to go about our business, and I don't want to see you in my fucking anywhere near me anymore. Fuck off. And he did. And then she was like, well, you were rude to him. I said, well, I didn't like the fact that he was sitting next to when I wasn't there. Like, clearly.
Isn't that scummy?
Yeah.
These aggressive men, like, you gotta, like, watch them. That's just a whole nother fuck. And I know I'm not a fighter, bro, so I can't, like, I'm big. I'm really big, but it gives me an intimidation factor with some of the smaller males. But it doesn't take a lot of testosterone to make me back off, so. It's just another reason why I don't date. It's because I'm not like a high T male.
But you're also not doing stuff like you're not a high T male. Who knows? Have you ever had it checked? You should get your T checked. It's kind of fun. That's why
the devil. She is calling me. I'll catch you on your next show if you're doing another show.
I'm thinking about it. Depends on what happens with my ex-girlfriend, but my goal is to come back at 5. But so I'm at the whims. I'm at the whims of her. But count on. I'll probably be live at 5 p.m. All right. Talk to you later.
She's calling. I got it.
Good luck. Good luck. That's my thing. I want to check on the ones to hang out with because, God, I need to make this fucking screen bigger, bro. There we go. That's my thing. I want to check the ones to hang out with me because I'm doing cool shit and I have fun, which is what I've always done. Yeah, right? You want to have companionship, and if you're doing cool shit, you want her to come along with you, right? Exactly. Glad you stopped dating Kathy Skywalker. Well, more power to you. More power to you. But I like going to movies and stuff. My husband loves it when guys look at me. He knows I'm his wife, and I don't entertain the creepiness. I don't mind looks so much. But it doesn't happen. It's very infrequent. In 7 years, it happened one time where I was like, what the fuck? But I did have guys sometimes be like, oh, you're a lucky guy. And I'm like, I know. I've had that. I'll just take that as a compliment, I'm high T, and I just don't have time for their bullshit. Honestly, they all have secret OnlyFans accounts, so it's not like it's anything special. Is that real? You think that girls all have secret OnlyFans accounts? Oh, God. Is that what we're doing now? That makes me sad. Good-looking women are a dime a dozen. These days, it's easy, I guess, with the proper makeup tutorials. I guess everyone can be the stereotype. I never liked the stereotype, though. I like the ladies that aren't wearing so much makeup and want to go do cool stuff and hang out with me. And I don't know. I've always been kind of lucky. I've been a lucky guy. I shouldn't be so down on myself right now, but it's tough with everything going on. Trust is key. I trust my wife to not betray me. You got to, but how do you trust them to? I mean, I trust, but then sometimes they still betray you. I feel very betrayed right now, and she didn't actually cheat or anything, but I still feel totally betrayed. You don't have an OnlyFans account, Kathy Skywalker? You might be making a lot of money. You never know. You never know. You might be that special little niche that somebody wants to spend thousands of dollars. Think about it. Charlie Kirk gave $30,000 to a couple of different, multiple times, like $30,000 to this trans model and this trans model and that trans model. Multiple trans models say they got upwards of $30,000 from Charlie Kirk, and he was not their only client. So maybe you can find your Charlie Kirk, and he'll just give you $30,000. Think about it. Just think about it. Think about it. Yeah, betrayal sucks. Yeah. Well, I think that like what we were talking about before with like people going to a ugly men are a dime a dozen indeed. Betrayal, I find it a tremendous betrayal, like the ladies or men, both men and women, going to like the golf course and just saying these unspeakably horrible things about their husbands or wives and to their friends, like outside the relationship. I find that to be a tremendous betrayal. I think it's horrible what they do. So that's tough. And I've seen it so much that I don't know. It's hard for me to trust. It's hard for me to trust. Has any leftoid come in and said, why do you hate women yet? A female was mentioned. No one said that. No leftoid has said that. He's pretending he is perfect. Thank you so much. He speaks Sergeant of God. He's pretending he is perfect. Oh, I said I'm not perfect. I said I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But there's a difference between not being perfect and being someone who betrays others. I think there's a difference there. I don't know. Substantiate the Kirk trans thing. Charlie Kirk, lots of OnlyFans models who were trans came forward after he died and like showed that they had the receipts and everything and said that he gave them lots and lots of money. But Charlie Kirk also said all the time that he had a horrible trans addiction, that it's not gay if you don't actually do it. He had a porn addiction. He was watching trans porn. And if someone says they have a porn addiction and you ask, what kind of porn were you addicted to? And they say all of it. They're watching gay porn. They're watching trans porn. They just don't want to tell you. Charlie Kirk talked frequently about his porn addiction. And if you read between the lines, it was clearly, I always thought he was just gay. But after he died, a bunch of OnlyFans model who were trans came forward and had the receipts of Charlie Kirk giving them lots and lots of money. Are you surprised? He talked about it all the time. Like, Charlie Kirk talked about his porn addiction. What kind of porn do you think he was watching? What kind of porn do you, and then when, again, if someone asks you and you say all of it, yeah, what trans thing? Charlie Kirk liked watching trans OnlyFans models. And he had to kick the habit. Not gay if it's in a three-way. And he said all the time, man. You look him up at what he says about gay people. The gay thoughts are not bad. It's the gay action. Being gay is an action. And that's what the Bible's again. Charlie Kirk said that all the time. You don't have to pretzel yourself all up about that topic unless you're thinking gay shit. Like, you wouldn't be, well, yeah, you just thinking about it's not a problem. You're allowed to, jerk off about gays, and it's not gay to jerk off about gayness. It's not gay to jerk off to gay porn, but it's gay to do it. That's what Charlie Kirk said. I'm addicted to porn, but not men. That would be gay. Exactly. Well, Charlie Kirk said it wasn't. Okay. That's why you're single, because I'm not watching enough gay porn. Because I really like porn. It makes you happy. Hey, man, whatever gets you through the day. I think it's kind of sad, but I mean, other people really like it. I think porn's kind of sad. I kind of like, I don't know. But I'm not against it. Like, do what you want to do, man. You want to watch that stuff, watch it. They're just content creators at the end of the day. Seems like a lot of money to be spending on like $30,000 on an OnlyFans model. Seems like a lot to me. But you tell me. Hola, papi. Hola. Nevada under pressure. Yeah, but then you watch porn and get happy. I guess it's the dopamine, right? But you can watch. Yeah, I get it. Porn. Well, porn will get you in hell. I guess. Man, Ben, I want to play you chess. Man. How do we live stream a chess game, Ben? I'm saying that the thoughts are the sin. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say the thoughts, him saying the thoughts aren't the sin is not saying he had them right. True, but when you connect all the other dots, you take Charlie Kirk, he had a porn addiction that he talked about a lot. Every time gayness came up, he mentioned that having gay thoughts isn't a problem. It's an action, not an identity. That gayness is an action, not an identity. That was Charlie Kirk's position. He said it many, many times. Then you have trans porn stars, OnlyFans models, whatever you want to call them. They have receipts that say Charlie Kirk gave me this money. So, let's do it. I can figure that out. What do you play, Ben? Do you play chess? You play 10-minute? Play 10-minute games or what? You play 5-minute games. I've never given a woman $1 online. Pause the track. And if you want to do it, yeah, 30,000 is a lot of goddamn money. But he was pulling in like $90 million a year. Charlie Kirk was making a lot of money. He's basically the youth outreach program for the ultra right wing, the Nazi party. That's what he was doing. So he couldn't say that I need 14 more subscribers and we can do it on my channel. Oh, I'd love that. We could do it on both channels. Me neither. Men who pay for that are straight losers. I don't know if they're losers. They want connection. I don't know. Like I'm gonna stop before I say they're losers. I don't think they're losers. They're just sad and they're alone and we have loneliness and they want connection and they want a pretty girl to talk to them. I think it's really sad. Sky, do you really believe in forever fire prison? No, of course not. I don't believe in the unseen world. I'm sorry. I don't believe in heaven and hell and angels and devils. I don't believe any of that, no. But I do think the teachings of Jesus Christ are important and worth reading. Read the Sermon on the Mount. Internet porn is free. People who spend on OnlyFans are super simps. No, they just want connection. They text, right? They pretend like they're your girlfriends, right? I think that's why. Oh, you play 10-minute games, Ben? That's pretty cool. I've always wanted to play. I like playing 10-minute games. A little slow, but I think with a live stream, because I'll be talking and shit, it's a little bit better. 10-minute games. I play 1-minute games. I played a bunch today. I think I'm at. It's not connection. It's an ersatz. Yeah. It's not connection. It's dopamine. It's a cheap dopamine hit, but it's a deeper dopamine hit than just watching a video, right? That's why they do it. Like, I mean, this has already been studied that the dopamine from pornography is pretty extreme, and then masturbation, if you actually finish, then that's extreme, and then you have a connection with the person. You have that long-term sustained dopamine hit from connection with your OnlyFans model. This is why they do it. I think it's sad, and you guys are like, they're losers, but I don't think they're losers. 1 minute. That's crazy. Yeah, man. I play 1-minute games. On my ELO score on the chess, my chess score right now. I mean, where's my damn profile? Here we go. I'm at 1,200 on daily. At 10 minutes, I'm at 1,100. It's not so great. I've been up higher. I've been up to 13, but 1,100 is not a great score. On Bullet, I'm at 900. And at Blitz, I'm at 800 right now. But 900, I'm pretty proud of those scores. What's your ELO? What's your ELO? I'm pretty proud of those scores, given how much I play and like how many times I played drunk and shit. I'm pretty good. I think my chess is pretty good. My chess game's pretty tight. I'm not great or anything. Chess porn, yeah, I love chess. But they're adult men. The fact they live in this delusion is troubling. Well, that's another problem, though, Mr. Good Citizen. The problem is that Americans aren't growing up. We have a permanent adolescence. We have like a Peter Pan syndrome where people aren't growing up. They're stuck. And that is something that on my channel I'm trying to like encourage, but most people that watch my channel are like over 40, 35 and up or something. But I thought that, like, you know, we need people to start thinking critically, start questioning authority, start being their own leaders, start thinking for themselves. I kept on running into this when I was doing outreach and activism. I'd run into people that don't even have the tools necessary in their, like cognitive tools necessary to make their own decisions. And so, I mean, it's upsetting. Yeah, it is upsetting. Trump is great and takes up 3 space. You call in the show. You can call in. Why don't you come in and call in? Mad Rush 2.0, morningsky.live/PYB. Come on the show. You can tell me why you think Trump is so great. You could BYOB, bring your own battle. My ELO is IRL. Nice. But, you know, come on the show. Tell me why you think Donald Trump is great. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'm not a believer in fairy tales, but I agree the teachings of Christ just make good template for how humans should treat one another. Yeah. I think that's a very good state. That's where I'm at. I was raised in the church. I was raised in the schools and stuff. Sub number 37. Heck yeah. Good job. We need the subscribers. Yeah. Come on the show, everybody. Come on the show. You can morningsky.live/PYB. Come on the show. Pick your battles. Men give these women all this money on OnlyFans, then complain that girls get rich on OnlyFans. Yes, that is something that's weird. I saw this Instagram feed, because the only way I don't have an OnlyFans account, but every time I look at my Instagram, like I get, mostly my Instagram is like retro synthesizers like this one, and what else is on my Instagram feed? Star Trek, a lot of Star Trek stuff. But my Instagram feed invariably will have some woman that's like, and news, a lot of news. I also have a lot of stuff about delivery robots being vandalized. I get a lot of that content. But every once in a while, let me see how long I have to scroll before I get an OnlyFans model. Let me see if it'll always happen. There's always going to be, oh, no. Damn, it's not as quick as I thought. Usually there's going to be one pretty quickly. But, oh yeah, no, that's not one. That's a vegan activist who just likes to get naked. She's not an OnlyFans model. But there's always one, and apparently my Instagram is not doing it to me right now. But they'll always say shit like things I made with my kitty, or things that I bought with my kitty. And it'll be like a fancy car and a big house. They have all these riches and wealth, you know, making all this money off of OnlyFans. And I'm going, man, I wish I had a kitty. No, just joking. I don't want a kitty. I don't want a kitty. Is real world equals world cancer? Yeah. 0 testosterone male. Man, my T count's actually really high. You're genuinely a bitch. I'm not a Republican at all, but you're just a weak man. Talk about my comment. I know you see it. Which comment, Seaman? I just saw it. Seaman, what do you mean? Seaman, that's your comment. Okay, great. Come on the show, Seaman. morningsky.live/PYB. morningsky.live/PYB. Come on the show. Have a conversation with me. We've got a couple of great things on here. Courage to cowardly dogs. Let's see. What's with you gay white dudes always talking about Trump? I'm not a gay white dude. What do you mean? Ask your mom about how gay I am. I don't know why people think Jesus was this soft-spoken, all-peace. No, he was a dissident. Jesus Christ was a proto-anarchist dissident who was killed by the state. And these Christians who are pro-government are anti-Jesus. You can't be pro-government and pro-Jesus. Jesus was not all about, hey, yeah, the government, I can't wait to get crucified. No, the state crucified him because he was because he dissented. Like, it's so weird. Jesus was a hardcore rebel. He freed all the animals. He turned over the money tables. And he got arrested for it and killed. Like, he called out corruption. Did all that. Yeah. Jesus was an anarchist. Jesus. And then, you know what's really funny to me? There were 2 Jesuses in jail that day. And the other Jesus had killed a Roman soldier. And so he was the violent. So the story of Pontius Pilate and all that, the story is that the other Jesus Barabbas, he was a violent dissenter. And he was going to get crucified that day. And the other Jesus, the peaceful protester, the one who only did property damage, those guys, which one do you want us to kill? Said the Romans. And the people said, free the violent one and let the peaceful one die. That's what you get for peaceful protest. That's what happens with peaceful protest when you're Jesus. Jesus, he wasn't really a nice guy. No, Jesus said all you rich fucks are going to hell. I mean, like, don't forget, Jesus literally just came out and said, hey, all you rich assholes are going to rot in hell for eternity. You all deserve to die. That's what Jesus said. You deserve to die and rot in hell, be tortured for eternity if you're rich. I believe Jesus is the greatest human that ever existed, but read the book. He bucked the system. He bucked the system. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, the Romans, but it was the people. The Romans, it's a stupid story because there's no evidence that anyone in the history of the Roman Empire ever had it's a tradition on this holiday to let one person free, and we're going to do it by applause-o-meter. Let's do the applause-o-meter. Which Jesus would you like to free? We got 2 Jesuses. One killed a Roman soldier, and the other one did some property damage. Which one do you want to free? The killer. Okay, I guess we got to let the murderer go. He did kill a Roman soldier, but we got to let him go. It's just a parable. It's just a funny story. It's my favorite story in the Bible. Is the story of Pontius Pilate, because even he's like, are you fucking serious? And they're like, yes, free Jesus Barabbas. And Pontius Pilate was like, I'm going to wash my hands of this. And that's where we get that saying, I'm going to wash my hands clean of this. Because he couldn't believe it. Yeah, I mean, flipping the tables at the temple and chasing everyone out with a whip and freeing all the animals because he didn't think that animals should be killed, then... yeah, Jesus wasn't, that's not really peaceful, but it was just property damage. Like, he didn't kill anybody. He didn't actually injure anybody. Jesus Barabbas killed a Roman soldier. Like, he was a cop killer. Like, Jesus Barabbas was a cop killer. Jesus Christ was like, hey, stop killing animals. It's Barabbas. Barabbas. Barabbas? You say Barabbas? I always say Barabbas. Barabbas. Let me look it up. I always forget how to. Jesus Barabbas. No, it's Barabbas. 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 I was right. Why are you fucking with me? I was right. Barabbas. I say Barabbas, not Barabs. Some people say Barabbas. I don't think it matters. The guy's dead. I don't think he was a real guy. I don't think Jesus Barabbas was a real dude. I don't care what color he was. He was the man. Yeah. They were desecrating the temple and they were killing animals. Jesus Christ was super against killing animals. Sorry. He let all the fish go. Only one of the Gospels said the thing about the fish and the loaves. Only one of them mentions fish. The other 2 mention loaves, but no fish. So, there you go. Free Barabbas. Indeed. Selling flesh when it was supposed to be a sacrifice. Well, that's always what they did. You surround the murder of animals with ritual. We do it today. We just call it fine dining, we do it today. We have rituals about killing animals when it's close to us. When it's off in the distance in a slaughterhouse and we don't care, but if it's like here, even like if you kill a deer, there's this whole ritual where you take the blood and you put it on the first kill and all that shit. There's a whole ritual about it. Stephanie, Matthew 10:34-36. Matthew 10:34-36. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. Explaining that his message causes division, setting family members against one another, and making one's household enemies. This represents the cost of discipleship and the conflict between truth and worldly values. The sword is figurative, but it means truth. It's the sword of truth, representing the division that occurs when the truth of the gospel confronts falsehood. Prioritizing Christ, following Jesus may require putting one's loyalty to him above sacred family bonds, which can lead to conflict. Not literal violence. Jesus is not promoting literal physical violence, but rather describing the inevitable relational consequences of aligning with him and his teachings. Yeah. I always think like loyalty to Jesus is kind of ridiculous, but loyalty to the teachings I think are pretty cool. I like the teachings of Christ. Yeah, it's hard to live by your values, to live by your morals. It's hard, and it's going to piss people off. Absolutely. Where did the concept of blood sacrifices come from anyway? It came from the ritual. It came because human beings at some point had to overcome the urge to not kill other animals. And so what they would do, they would sacrifice animals and say it was for God, an unseen entity of some kind, and they would eat the parts that they liked and they would sacrifice the rest to the gods. That's in old Greek tales and older tales than Greek gods and stuff. They always talk. That's the only reason. You have to surround anything we don't like doing with ritual. That's how you get it done. Human beings don't like killing animals. They don't. That's why most people don't work in slaughterhouses. No one's like, when I grow up, I want to work in a slaughterhouse. Nobody has ever said that. So you need to get poor people, convicts, ex-cons, immigrants. Those are the people that you need to go do that. People that you can force into that horrible profession. But if you were to kill an animal yourself, then you got to be like, oh, yes, the great bear spirit in the sky and the eagle spirit. Yeah. And we're going to use it's all, thank you so much for your sacrifice. It's all bullshit, but it's a ritual we do. It's a ritual in order to make it less uncomfortable. Or more comfortable? No, less uncomfortable. Yes. It's better than factory farming. All farming is factory farming. If 99% of agriculture is industrial agriculture, it's all industrial agriculture. You cannot escape it. The only thing you can do is become a conscientious objector and try not to contribute and just stick to your own morals and not just realize that you really can't do much against it, but you can simply opt out in protest. It's Barabas because in the language of the Hebrew, not the king is what is English, the King James Version. Man, Joyous 777, I love you, but I don't really care if it's Barabbas, Barnabas, or Barnaby, Bartleby. I don't give a shit. He's not a real guy. I don't care. Barabbas. I've always called him Barabbas. I'm probably going to call him Barabbas until I die, or Barabbas, but I don't care. Jesus Barabbas or Jesus Barabbas. Or Barabbas. I don't call him Barabbas. I don't care. I'll know who you're talking about. I'll know who you're referring to if you say Barabbas. That's all right. Yes. There's a huge difference between an animal raised in a cage too small for him and an animal that grew up in the wild. No comparison. Really? There's no comparison? Interesting. I think there's a very stark comparison that you still think that you have the right to kill both. You still think that they're slaves. One's just a free-living slave and one is an incarcerated slave. Your attitude toward both is identical. Your attitude is the same towards animals in confinement and animals who are not in confinement. They're here for your pleasure, to behold or to eat or to use in experiments or do whatever you want with them. We talked about Laika today. Laika was a stray dog they sent up into space, and she died up there from heat stroke. So, we just think that was a free living animal. She was a free living animal. Anyone who says we don't need to eat animals never studied biology. Not true, Maddie. You're being ignorant now. Ignorance is always fun. Dr. Greger is a leading biologist, has talked all about this stuff. Dr. Greger, can you go look him up? He's got lots of opinions about it, but I don't really give a shit. Biology is not what I'm here to argue about. I am talking about freedom and liberty versus slavery and tyranny. That's what I care about. When crocodiles or lions eat a human, did they think they had a right over them, or were they just hungry? Are you a crocodile? Are you a crocodile typing out this? Are you a crocodile? What do you care about what crocodiles and lions do? Are you one of them? Are you a crocodile? After a while, crocodile, is your whole face made of teeth? Is your whole face just like a big open... Like, are you like a lion that you can just open up a whole face and it's all razor sharp teeth? Is that you? Oh my God. How are you even typing right now? Lion, Maddie getting money, crocodile. Yes. I'm comparing your attitude towards them, Maddie. It's your attitude that I'm comparing. I compare not the animal, not the victim, but the oppressor. Thank you. Joyous says, Sky, it is loyalty to him. Yeah, I reject that. I think it's loyalty to his teachings, but it's all up to you, Joyous 777. If you want to hate me because I think Jesus's teachings was that they were useful, but calling him a god isn't useful, you can hate me for that. I just won't. That doesn't bother me. A crocodile does not have supermarkets. That's true, Benford Berlin. A crocodile decidedly does not have supermarkets. Jen Main, I'm looking for your comment. I don't see it. Jen Main. Thank you for being a Sky City Rebel, Jen, but I don't see your comment. I'm looking for it. Sorry, Jen. I don't see it. Lions, though. Yeah, it's the classic lions, though. And then they want to say, I'm not ignorant. Lions and crocodiles. That's fucking ignorant as shit. How about elephants and gorillas? We're more like a gorilla than a lion, and gorillas don't eat meat, and their buff is they're really big and strong. A rhinoceros doesn't eat animals, and they're big and strong. An elephant is big and strong, and they don't eat animals. Shit, a bull is a big, strong, macho animal. He doesn't eat animals. But you think of lions and crocodiles. All right, well, if you think you are like a lion and crocodile, you're ignorant. I think I'm more like a gorilla than a crocodile, if it's coming from the animal kingdom. If you want to say we're more like chimpanzees do kill for fun, but they don't need to. They just do it because it's fun. They like killing little monkeys, and they do eat them. They like shred them and they eat them. Chimpanzees, but mostly they eat fruits and vegetables, mostly. It almost seems like, because they've even done, have you ever watched Chimp Empire? It's crazy. Like, they'll actually hunt chimpanzees on a full stomach, which makes us believe, because we'll watch them eat and like they're full and they got a bunch of energy now. And so then they go kill monkeys for fun. So I say we're more like chimpanzees, and I would like to say I'm better than a chimpanzee because I don't want to kill for fun. I don't feel like killing for pleasure. So, but you want to compare us to lions and crocodiles. I think we're more like chimpanzees and gorillas and orangutans and oh, by the way, none of them put animals in cages, and none of them rape animals in order to kill their babies, and none of them do any of that weird shit. We do, only we do that weird shit. Bonobos are pretty cool. They have sex for fun. They're pretty interesting animals. Bonobos, they do the same kind of shit where they'll mostly eat fruits and vegetables, and every once in a while they'll kill somebody. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I guess compares to crocodiles. No, you are more like a coward that would sell his country out for what you are. What'd you sell your country out for? A hat? Did you sell your hat? You sell your country out for a pedophile hat? Come on the show. Sold your house? Did you sell your country out for a MAGA hat? I'd love to have a conversation with you. Dolphins have sex for fun too. That's true. They do. Pigs don't, but their ejaculations take 90 minutes sometimes. Ain't that crazy? They have these long orgasms, but they don't have sex for fun. Seems like the long orgasm is wasted on the pig, right? Damn, that's got to be. But they're not having fun? They don't do it for fun? It's weird. Yeah, a red hat. Yeah, did they sell? A lot of people sold out their country for a red hat, didn't they? It says MAGA on it. It says Make America Great Again. Sky, I don't hate good. Good, Joyous 777. Say joyous, huh? Pigs and cats go feral. Yeah, I mean, lots of human beings go feral too. That's crazy. And a spiral. Yeah, they got one of those spiral penises like ducks. Ducks and pigs got that like their penises look like a corkscrew. Pretty cool. Okay, well, this is the end of the show. I missed it again. Am I missing it? What the fuck are you talking about? All right. You are Jen. You're amazing, and I do not want to miss your chat. Is it being erased or something? Jen. It's not showing up. Here, I'll look at YouTube and see if I see it on YouTube. It's not showing up for me. Hunting overpopulated deer is oppression. Why are they overpopulated? That's ignorance. Overpopulated deer. How did they get overpopulated? How did that happen? How did they get overpopulated, Magger? How did that happen? How did we do that? We all missed it. Rephrase it, Jen. Yeah, it's not coming in, Jen. I don't have a comment from you. Am I on TikTok? No, I'm not on TikTok. I hate the Ellisons. I know, like, oh yeah, YouTube. YouTube's just as evil as TikTok, but man, I don't know. I don't have a good time on TikTok. It takes everything. It's just like a time suck. I don't find any value in it. Yeah, you make a little bit more money on TikTok, but it's fucking gross. I don't like it. Everyone's horrible on there. I want to build community. I want more community than drive-by traffic, So I want to build more dignity-based resistance than just do this. My comments don't come through on desktop, probably because it's my work PC. Oh, weird. Humans are overpopulated, and there are lots of billionaires that think that we should just, a bunch of people. No, it didn't. I don't like TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I have a TikTok account. You can go find me on there, but I don't usually go live on there. Oh, you tried to call. What happened, Jen? What happened? Did it not work? It has to. Steve was on there. Go to morningsky.live/PYB. Here, I'll put the rest. I'll put it right here. Yeah. Call in, Jen. There you go. There's a streamer. You got a YouTuber live stream debating TikTokers on the existence of God. Really? We got God rot now? I mean, people do. We do have God rot. I mean, that's something that historians say happens when the culture declines. People start believing in magical things like God and stuff like that more frequently, more and more because of, well, they had to put their faith, since they don't have their institutions anymore, they put their faith in God. Chip is catching strays. Why is Chip catching strays? I don't even know. Are you guys I don't know what you guys are talking about. I found out why big government doesn't like TikTok. Makes sense now. Why? I mean, doesn't big government own TikTok now? The Ellisons own TikTok. They own Paramount. They own DC. They own Warner Brothers. They own Star Trek. It's so annoying. It's so annoying that these billionaires are doing this shit, man. It's annoying. All right, no one wanted to do my call-in show. I don't know. You guys wanted a call-in show, but no one calls in my call-in show. I got one caller today. Someone just said, don't become a vegan street preacher. I mean, TikTok is the government. Yeah, Smoking Blondie, it is. Lots of YouTube peeps debate about God. I mean, I do sometimes. I'll talk about God. I don't know what the point is. It's weird because, like, we're going to argue about whether or not there's a God. What a weird thing to argue about. To me, it's, there's a God. You have no evidence of that. Okay. There is no God. You have no evidence of that. Okay. Cool. Good talk. Good talk. You'll call in tonight, Johnny Vegan Seed? All right. You was late today. Next time. Seyard Yan, we're going to do another one at 5 p.m. my time. That is in 2 hours. All right. We're going to do it again in 2 hours, y'all. I'm going to get off the stream for a while, sit down and read my book. And then in 2 hours, I will be back on the stream on the YouTubes, and we'll talk midterms shaping up to be an extinction level event for Republican directives. Maybe you're right, Co-Sider. Maybe you're right. Smoking Blondie gonna be back. All right, I'll set up the stream right now, and we'll get back in action. Thanks, everybody. I don't know what's going on with you, Jen Main, but hopefully we'll fix that as well. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down, because I need you. We need each other. The animals need us most of all. What's up? See you, Steve. See you, Stephanie. See you, Sam. Oh, my God. Jennifer's here. Jennifer just came in at the last minute. Jennifer, how the heck are you, Jennifer? You're live.
I couldn't change. I didn't have time to change it. It's the Jen in Maine.
Oh, this is Jen in Maine. Hey, how are you?
I just didn't have a time to check it.
Okay.
To change it. But what I kept saying was, when I went to a slaughterhouse and I saw them, how they murdered the cows, and I heard them scream. That was the last time I ate anything that ever breathed.
Hey, wow, Jen. That's yeah, it's one of those things when you have to be there and see it. Mm-hmm. It's a different story, isn't it?
Yes.
Have you ever?
I've petted cows now, and I just nope, can't, just can't.
Yeah, I mean, there's footage now of American gas chambers where they kill the pigs and they die screaming, and they sound just like humans. You know, it's just.
I cried for probably 3 or 4 hours after that. And it probably took me, my husband had to go to the grocery store for the longest time because I couldn't even see it. I couldn't even see it. Destroyed me. It was like the worst thing ever. I'm going to start crying right now just thinking about it. And this was like in 2004.
So you've been vegan for 20 years?
20 some years, yeah.
Wow. That's good for you.
Oh my God. It's awful. It's the most awful thing in the whole wide world. It was the most horrible thing to see. And I think anybody who can see something like that and still, I don't know. I just can't.
Yeah, I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that you've been animal free for so long. That's really great. I'm really happy to hear that. It's true. I don't know how people are able to see it, but I think what happens is people generally will see it and they'll stop for, a couple days or an hour. They'll skip one meal. And then they're inundated with 10,000 ads every day. A lot of people are very susceptible to the 10,000 ads we see, many of which, a majority of which are for dead animals or fast food. So, or animal products, right? Like 10,000 ads a day. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of ads.
Yeah, I guess it is, but it's just, oh my God, it's still there. I just can't. I just can't. I don't know how anybody does it. And I live in Maine.
You live in Maine,
it's like all these, I mean, I'm surrounded by hunters and stuff, but my neighbors know that just don't show it to me.
Isn't it funny? People think that we're not, like, I'm surrounded by killers all the time. Most of my friends are killers, and most people I know are killers. And like my mom was a killer, my dad was a killer. Like, I can't avoid it. I live in America, you know. Ben says you're on a bus now. Are you on a bus? Looks like you're on a bus.
Yeah, that's what I do for a living. I drive a charter bus.
Oh, that's rad. That is so
Yeah.
cool. I bet you've seen lots of places. Even what's the farthest distance you've driven a bus?
To Seattle from Maine. That's about as far as
Wow.
we can
So
get.
3,000 miles ish, right? Something like that.
Right.
3,500 miles, something.
Like that. Yep. And we're only allowed to
Wow.
drive 10 hours a day, so you know there's a lot of stopping. But I get paid to go on vacation. I
Yeah.
literally get paid to go on vacation. I stay in the nicest hotels, and you know, and then
That's
if I take
fantastic.
people to like Disney World, they have their own bus. Once I get there, I
Yeah.
park the bus, I stay on the property, I do what I want for the entire 10 days that we're there because they have their own buses. They don't want other charter buses driving around on Disney property. So you just sit there and I just hang out at the pool and
Yeah. Just say it. Yeah. I think that's
yeah.
great. You know, I did a tour with I did 2 tours with PETA. So I was on the road for about 18 months, and I was always out there driving around. But I didn't have, I think $200 a night was our max on hotels, so I didn't really get to stay at super nice places.
Right.
But I got to see America. I got to see,
Yep.
you know, buffalo roaming, and I got to see all this, you know, it's pretty incredible. It's a pretty amazing country.
Yeah, it is.
But
It really is.
I envy you. I think a lot of people probably envy you. You got the CDL, huh? And you just got a job driving charter buses. That's fantastic.
And what's really cool about it is like when I was in Disney, I get paid even if I'm not driving. I get paid 10 hours a day, even when I'm just hanging out in the hotel.
You get a per
know?
diem. Yes.
Yep. Plus per
You get
diem. Plus per diem.
Yeah, and then you get like a couple $100 to eat and drink, right? Because you can't
Yeah, every
supermarket
day.
shop every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Oh my
You get
God. Yeah, I got
$100 every day to
$30.
eat.
I got $30 every day to eat. That was my per
Well,
diem.
and you know, being vegan, it's kind of hard to spend $100 in a day in a lot of places, you know.
Well,
It's
I would
kinda
try to
hard.
I would try to get extended stay places that would have like a hot plate or an oven in the, or not an oven but a stove, and I traveled with a pan and a knife, and
Me too.
because
Yep.
I could prepare meals at home for
Yep.
sure.
I
Ben from
have.
Berlin's, do you have a bus microphone?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Do you
course
make
I do.
announcements? Do you make announcements on it?
Yeah, because I give tours.
Oh,
See?
you say out this window. If you look out your left,
Yep.
you'll see a
Right. Yep.
That's so cool.
So yeah, I have to tell them all the cool things about, you know, like especially if I'm doing a Maine tour, a tour of the state, you know, kind of thing. I go through the fun facts about Maine, like that we only share 150 miles of border with the rest of the US and over 900 kilometers of border with Canada.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, you know, I'm like, that's why Maine doesn't seem like you're still in the United States. And
Yeah, because Maine seems like Maine seems like it's its own country up there.
it kind of is. It kind of is. And there's a lot of us that would really like to be our own country. We tried it once, and
Yeah,
we
you guys
were
are like
our own
Quebec.
country for about 2 months. So
Yeah, California too. California was its own
yeah,
country for a little while. So was
yeah.
Texas. A few of us
Well,
did it.
a lot of people don't know this, but Maine only became a state because we were part of the Missouri Compromise. Remember that? Yeah. For Missouri to enter the United States, to enter the Union as a slave state, another
Right, they had
state
to have
had
a
to
free
enter as a
state.
free state, and that was Maine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot.
So,
That's how they did it. A lot of times they would bring in that was
mhm.
Missouri Compromise, but then every single time they signed in another slave state, they signed in another free
Free state.
state.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yep.
weird how we did things. We really bent over backwards to keep slavery, didn't we?
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
Republicans and Democrats
Here's
are so different. The parties are so different. They they're so different. They bend
whatever.
over backwards to keep slavery going, both of them. But keep going.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because you also work with Boston Brian, right? Or Boston Rob?
Yes. Hmm.
Boston Brian.
Boston Pride. Yeah.
And I saw, because I was a member of his channel for a bit. I think I still might be. And in his emojis, there's a donkey. So he's like he's like Mr. Democrat, right? He's like super.
Oh, he is 100%. Yeah, he is absolutely a Democrat. I am not. I like. There was stuff that Obama did that I thought was the most authoritarian things. That he was the first president that started doing all these. He paved the way for Trump to be doing all these. What are they called? Executive orders.
Yes.
Because Obama started doing them, and I was like, "This is fucking nuts. We have to stop this man from doing this shit."
Yes.
And it started something, and I'm just like, I would give anything to have George W. back, which is not saying a lot, but I mean, he was actually for us in the military, and he looked. I mean, even though he started some bullshit war that was fixing his dad. His dad's
he was a war criminal too, right? But I think that W still liked America. I think he still liked Americans. I think he still liked the Constitution more or less. I think that he and Cheney and Karl Rove and all those, and Donald Rumsfeld, another monster of the 21st century. Like Donald Rumsfeld, what a fucking monster that guy is. And Dick Cheney, my God. But anyway, those guys were really horrible, but I still feel like they liked America still.
Right.
I don't think Donald Trump likes America or Americans.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think he likes anybody but himself.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't think he likes his own kids or
himself.
Yes.
I think he actually hates himself so much that he can't like anybody else. Because to be able to love something, you have to love yourself.
Right. The only people he gets turned on by are people that he owns. And if there's any truth to the rumors that like Sasha Riley about all the butt play, like all the the demoralizing like the humility play that he was into.
Right.
If there's any truth to that it scans perfectly. Of course Donald Trump likes being spanked with a rolled up magazine with his face on it. Of course he likes a man to insert a tent pole into his butt. Like, of course, because he likes he likes being humiliated. Mm-hmm. He likes the power play. That's all he cares about.
Right. And the fact that he killed puppies, I mean, like, that was a sport for them on Epstein Island. I mean, it's just like, honest to God, how can anybody do anything like that?
It wasn't just puppies, They're
I know. I know. But that was like the big thing, like that bitch that was running fucking ICE for a while, that ICE
Christian Noem. Yeah.
Yes. Because a dog isn't fucking trained right, she just shot herself in the head, not the dog.
The dog was 14 months old.
Right.
Like,
it's not even
for hunting dogs, that's still really young to be executing a dog because the dog bit a chicken. The dog was being trained to hunt birds and bit a chicken, and so she killed the dog.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. That's a dog's natural thing to do, is to, I mean,
well, if you're training a dog to catch birds, like that's what the dog was being trained to do, is being birding. And so she took, the story that she tells is she took Cricket, that's the name of the dog, out, and the dog wouldn't do what the dog was told. Cricket wouldn't do the hunting. But then later on, they stopped by some constituent's trailer park or something, and there were chickens in the yard, and Cricket bit a chicken. Mm-hmm. Which, again, we're training this dog to catch birds. The dog's confused. Okay. Yes. Yep. Dog sees bird, thinks. And probably this dog was probably beaten today because she didn't go after the right birds. Well, now she gets executed. They blew her brains out. Like, I know, it's ridiculous. Come on. Come on.
It has more to do with the trainer than the trainee.
100%. 100%. And so, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. When it comes to, she's just a power hungry. She's just a Stockholm syndrome case, like the Ice Barbie and Pamela Joe Bondi. These are women who think that if they just act right around these powerful men, that they'll be powerful one day.
Not in a powerful man's world.
And not in the system that you're helping to uphold. You need to So
Never in a chauvinist system are you going to be anything other than arm candy. Hence the reason why they were all, both of those women
they're
were
all getting
so
fired.
plastic.
Oh
They
yeah, the
were so
Mar-a-Lago
plastic.
face. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
and now they're getting fired. And I don't have anything against plastic surgery. I'm going to get a facelift before too long, but because I look older than I act and I feel, and it's just kind of like I'm not going to
Yeah.
get a crazy one just to live.
Do what
just
you
a
want to
little,
do. I don't.
just a
I don't. I'm
little.
not judging, but don't do it for you, not for your boss. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I just, the reason I want to do it is because when I stopped eating things that breathe, I actually lost over 200 pounds. And
Really?
yeah, so I went from a size 24 to a 2. I'm a size 2.
Oh my gosh! By going
Yeah.
vegan?
Yeah. Well, that
Oh my God!
I started exercising and stuff, but yeah, it's hard to tell on camera, but I'm a teeny tiny human now.
Wow, that's remarkable. You need to tell that story more often. More people need to hear that story. 200 pounds. I know a guy that lost 100 pounds. 200.
Mhm.
That's literally double.
I know. If I had a way to share screen, I would show you a picture of what I used to look like.
You can put it in the community tab on my channel. I'm always trying to get people to post in the community tab on my channel because I want to try to build community there without having to make a fucking Discord. I hate Discord.
I know, I do too.
I hate it.
I
Christy,
get so many Discord things every day. Like right now, I've got a pop up on my screen from Discord, and
I can't stand it. It's just time
I
suck.
never look at it.
Time suck. I can't do it. And it's not. It's just too much, and it's not like meaningful community. It's just, I don't know. I like the YouTube community page a lot. I wish people use more of it and communicated there about stuff we're talking about. Christy Gnome killed her family's male goat because she considered it nasty and mean, smelled rancid, and because it chased and knocked down her children. In her book, she killed the goat on the same day she shot the 14-month-old dog Cricket.
That is ridiculous. Goats are cute too.
Yeah. He's nasty and mean. She was on a rampage. She probably beat the shit out of Cricket. Then she shot Cricket. Then she went home and shot the goat. The method: she dragged the goat to a gravel pit, the same location where she had just killed her dog, and tied him to a post.
Oh my God.
She shot the dog. After she shot the goat, he survived the first wound because it jumped, quote unquote. Gnome then went back to her truck to retrieve another shell to finish killing it.
Oh my God.
Gnome used the story in her book to illustrate her willingness to make difficult, messy, and ugly decisions, comparing the act to leadership.
No.
That's leadership for you, huh?
I guess. Not somebody I'd ever follow anywhere.
Yeah, right. I mean, I was a leader in food and beverage, and I had 500 employees, and I would not imagine that being a good. Well, sometimes you just got to shoot them in the face. What? Like, what are you talking about? That's not leadership. And on the same day, like maybe take a breath.
Right.
Like I just shot Cricket.
You said that, and since we were just talking about George W.'s administration, you said about shooting him in the face. Of course, the first thing that pops into my head.
Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney hunting and shooting his lawyer with the bird shot. That was good stuff. I like that. Let's kill. Like, at least he shot a lawyer. That was pretty. Like those were all the jokes, right? And the other joke was that he only eats what he kills. No, he only eats what he shoots. He shoots everything. What did he say? He eats everything he shoots. Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to eat the lawyer.
Well, he was a big boy, so he was eating a lot, so.
Have you ever seen the movie Vice where Christian Bale played Dick Cheney?
Mm-mm.
It's so good. It's gotten so much better with age, too. It's fucking great. I watched it recently, and I didn't see it when it came out, and has anybody seen the movie Vice where Christian Bale plays Christian Bale gains like 250 pounds
Jesus.
and he plays Dick Cheney. It's amazing.
I'm going to be looking it up on IMDb here whenever we get off.
It's so
because I'm
good.
just sitting here waiting for my group to be done with their thing so I can take them back.
Can you
to
tell what
Portland.
state? What state are you in?
I'm still in Maine. I'm
Oh.
just I'm right on the coast. Like if I go and look out across the water, I will see Nova Scotia. I'm right on the Bay of Fundy. Yeah.
That's so amazing. Aya. Did they say Aya for yes over there? I always see people in Maine.
We say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so funny in Maine. They say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Taking her marital frustrations out on innocent animals. That's what I think is like what is a lot of this. She's frustrated. He's frustrated. They're in a loveless marriage. He's got that bimbo. I forget what they call it. What was his fetish? Bimbo something. Bimbo busting.
Bimbofication.
Bimbofication. Bimbofication with balloons and hot shorts.
Right. I was
This is
looking
what
at some of the photos. They were pretty intense.
I am afraid for young men too, and young women, of course, young people, I should say. I'm afraid for young people because, like, I grew up before the dick pic or before send nudes. So these
Same.
and these poor kids now are growing up where that's normal. And this guy, he probably thought he was having a fun time. He got hacked. I don't know how this leaked. How did we all have this picture of him with the balloons in his shirt and the biker shorts? How did we get that? And why did he let the picture be taken? Like, I would never let someone, if I was into that, like if I'm into something that's kind of on the other side of things, a little weird or a little something that might be misunderstood by the general populace, I wouldn't let someone take pictures of me.
Right.
And since I'm, I've been asked for dick pics. I don't send dick pics. I'm like, you can see it in person. You can come on down. I'll show it to you all you want. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna have that on the internet.
Exactly, because once it's there forever.
It's there forever. Yeah.
It's there forever. Well, even in your phone, like it can be hacked. It can be found. It's just.
Yeah, I had a chef. And if anybody knows food and beverage, back of house people always got the craziest stories. Front of house too, but back of house is always like the real crazy shit. And and so one of my chefs, he went to culinary school, like that type of chef, and he had had a bunch of video or something on his phone, and he got hacked. Yeah. And they said, we're going to send all these to your family members, everyone on your list, everyone on your, what do you call it? Your contact list.
Contact list, yep.
We're going to send it to all your Facebook friends. We're going to send all these videos to everybody. Everyone in your family is going to see you on all the weird shit you do.
Speaking of movies, and you're talking about back of the house, front of the house, you ever seen the movie Waiting?
Of course, yeah.
Oh my God. Every time
time
I'm with somebody that wants to send something back, I look at them and go, rat brains.
Rat brains.
Remember this movie. Don't send it back.
Don't send it back. Isn't that what he takes? Does he send back the French toast or something, and he rubs it on his
nuts, man?
He rubs it on his nuts. Yeah, I'm trying to remember that movie. Yeah, It's French toast though, right? It's like some kind of bread product that he's rubbing on himself.
Right.
Yeah.
French toast. It's like, for God's sakes, how bad can French toast be? I mean, either eat it or don't.
Yeah, send it back. Yeah, just send back the French toast. Yeah, it's funny because I worked in food and beverage for pretty much my whole life, and not anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore because I can't stand it. Yeah. That's old school. Don't watch it. Still waiting for the sequel. You're still waiting for the sequel, huh?
They did do a second one.
They did? I didn't know they did a second one.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
It was because the first one was like a Bennigan's or something, supposedly. And then the second one was like a TGI Fridays. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Paralleller said one of the girls was undocumented and found out who his wife was and outed him.
Oh.
That's how it happened. Is that real, Parallelist? Or are you pulling my leg? Are you pulling my leg? I grew up with it, and I'm only 7 years younger than Sky, says Ben from Berlin. I mean, I remember it becoming a thing, Ben, but I'm just at that cusp. You're 7 years
Yeah.
younger than me. I am just at that cusp where it was not a thing for me growing up sending dick pics. I did not. We didn't have cameras on phones
Uh,
until I was in college.
I didn't even have a phone until I was in college because when they first came out was the year that I graduated from high school. My parents had the kind of, and it was permanently installed in the car because my mom was a doctor. So, and it was like, don't use the phone in the car because it cost them something like $5 a minute or something. And if it rang and my mom wasn't in the car, I wasn't even allowed to answer it because it was the hospital. But yeah, I but the first phone I ever had was one of those giant brick things with the big antennas sticking out of it. Yep.
I remember my father was in construction, so he was on the road a lot. And so he had a car phone, He had a car phone. The phone couldn't leave the car. He had one of those little
Right.
antennas that with it looked like a
Yep.
pig's
There's a little
penis.
squiggly thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And it was
Yep.
on and it would whistle. He had to have this little thing on because at high speeds it would whistle. So he had to have like a little condom on it so it wouldn't whistle.
Ours was on the back window. So
His was on the back window, but like it would go. It would for
Oh.
something about the aerodynamics of the car or something. And they had a
okay.
product. They had a product that you could put on the antenna so that
To
it
keep
wouldn't
it from
whistle.
whistling.
Yes.
That's too funny. We never had
Yeah.
a condom on ours.
Yeah, it was like, but it's so
Yeah.
funny that like now I was on the cusp of dick pics, Kanavia. I was on the cusp. Well, of course, like, let me put it this way: I was already a full-fledged adult and getting married by the time people were sending each other dick pics all the time. I was already like in a committed relationship living with a woman by the time dick pics became popular. Or
Right.
nudes, nudes and dick pics. And that just wasn't part of my courting ritual. It just never became part of my mating ritual, like taking photos of my genitalia and sending it off. Like, it's so weird, man. I've never done it. Never happened.
I don't understand. It's like, like testicles are not attractive. I don't want to see them. It's like, there was excess elbow skin, so let's wrap it around these nuts hanging down here. I don't
Come
know.
on. Don't be so misandrist. Come on. If I said the same thing
No.
about labia, you'd have my head. You're not
really,
allowed.
because like there's the ones you see in porn that are like wore out and they're like hanging out and flapping. That is not good. It's not good.
People come in all shapes and sizes. I think
I know, but still.
I'm glad everyone's different. I like it. Balls,
True.
though.
True.
Some people love the big labia. Some people like little. Some people like big balls. Some people
This
like
is
little tight
true.
balls. Like it's all right.
This is true. There's something for everyone out there.
Something
but,
for
yeah.
everyone. But if I had a woman who thought my balls were gross, I'd probably be pretty sad. So that we couldn't really have a long-term relationship, I don't think. If you think my balls are gross, we're probably not going to work out. I've done it many Sorry.
Oh my
Just gonna-
god! Well, most
let's
of
just-
the time you can't see them unless they get a Brazilian wax. You know what I mean? They're just like it's just a hairy mess down there anyway. But
Well, I don't know. These days, I don't know.
Yeah, this
Depends
is
on what the
true.
age of you're dating.
Yeah.
I generally date pretty younger than me because like I just
yeah,
don't
we
see
talked
women
about
my
this
age.
before.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't get along with people my own age. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't meet them. So like when I'm out, I don't even see them. I don't see people my age. I very rare
I don't
unless
see
they
a
got
lot
a
of
kid in tow.
58 to 60-year-old women out skiing and hiking and mountain
Yeah.
climbing and the things that I like to do.
'Cause you went vegan. They didn't.
Four-wheeling,
That's why
and
you've been vegan 20 years. You've been vegan longer than me. You've been vegan 23 years, 22 years.
22,
mean,
yeah.
22 years, man. You got 1 year over on me. I've only been vegan 21 years, and I feel different. I feel healthier than most guys my age.
I'll tell you, because I just had to have my physical for the DOT. I actually, my cholesterol is 109 and the one that the HDL, or whichever one's supposed to be high is right on point. My
Yeah.
other one that's supposed to be low is lower than it's supposed to be. My blood pressure was 96/65. She said, "We need to raise your blood pressure." I was like, "How the hell do you raise a blood pressure?"
Yeah, I could drink more caffeine, maybe. I don't know, the first thing on
yeah, I don't know.
coffee. Like, I don't know,
Right?
sugar. What am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna raise my own blood pressure? I'm cool as a cucumber duck. If I
Yeah.
go
And
because
then
of low blood pressure, I'll go easy.
right. And well, and I do this job, and you would think that it would be like super stressful. I mean, for Christ's sake, I drive around in Boston in a 50-foot, steel non-bendable vehicle that doesn't fit on the streets of Boston. And anybody that's ever driven there knows that there's a reason why we call them massholes. They just drive
Yeah,
however they want. And
it's a driving thing. I don't think it's a driving thing.
well, I mean, for the most part, to me, I think they're super nice people, like face to face, but in a car, not so much. But it's I don't know. It's I just don't get stressed out. People are always like, "God, you must have nerves of steel," and I'm like, it doesn't bother me. I don't get road rage. I don't care about, like I can sit in traffic for hours. Doesn't faze me at all. I find other shit to do in my head.
Yeah, I never was bothered by it. I've got a robust, deep internal monologue that I don't mind.
Yeah,
Plus,
exactly.
and when I don't, I have podcasts that I listen to. I listen and think about different ideas. I mean,
Yep, me too. I constantly have my AirPods in and I listen to shit if I get bored. But I mean, it's just, why get upset over something you have no control of? You cannot control the fact that there's, 30 million cars on the road in front of you. You have no
No, I
control
mean that's like a
over that.
Buddhist thing. Like it is a Buddhist exercise. The idea that while you're angry about the traffic, you're not realizing that you are the traffic.
Right.
You are part of the traffic. And
Whenever I take people to New York City, I always tell them, I'm like, look, New York City, people in the city are not rude. They're just, they have a mission. There's a purpose. When they're walking somewhere and they're New Yorkers, they're on a mission to get from point A to point B. So
that's true.
Just remember, you are always in somebody else's way. When you're in New York City, just keep that mindset that you are always in somebody else's way, and it won't make you think that they're being rude. It's
true.
just like you're always in somebody's way.
Johnny Vegan Seed says you should come on Sunday because you're a hoot. Come on my Sunday show on the Ethical Underground. If you ever want to come on, you're always welcome. Come on the show. We'll talk about the we'll talk about the ethics of whatever. Kathy, you still seem like a cougar, says Navia 420.
Oh, I thought she was me. I was like, no, I'm a puma. I'm not a cougar.
Yeah,
Didn't we have this
puma.
conversation once before?
No,
I
I
asked
don't
the
remember
girls whenever that I worked with, I was like, whenever I married my husband, met him and married him in 6 weeks. And they were like, I was like, does this make me a cougar? And they're like, no, you're a puma. Apparently there's some sort of, hierarchy of the ages.
Oh.
And because he's like 9 years younger than me, I'm only a puma. So they bought me, a tracksuit, a Puma tracksuit and Puma tennis shoes, and I wore it to work the next day. I was like, I'm a Puma.
A puma. That's fun. I didn't know that there was a difference between cougars and pumas when it comes to ladies in their ages or their relationship to other.
Apparently the guy has to be at least 20 years younger than you for you to be a cougar. So since he's only 9 years younger than me, I'm just a puma. I was like, well, I'd rather be a puma. I don't know.
Who do they call pumas and cougars? I'm looking this up right now on Google. Are some links? Cougars are women in 40s and 50s who actively seek romantic sexual relationships with significantly younger men, often 10 plus their junior. Pumas are women defined as women in their 30s who date younger men. Those are pumas.
Yeah. So I was 35 when I married Eric.
You were a 26. Puma.
I was a puma. Yeah.
I had no idea about this.
Me either. I didn't either until after I married him, and they were
There's a whole
that.
feline scale. Hold on a second. 18 to 21 is a wildcat. 22 to
Okay.
29 is a lynx. 30 to 39 is a puma. 40 to 49 a cougar. 50 to 59 is a jaguar. Or
Ooh,
a
damn.
a jaguar.
I can be a jaguar now. But
You could
only,
be a jaguar. Dude, would you say jaguar or you say jaguar? Well, how do you say it?
Normally I would say jaguar.
Jaguar. All right.
Yeah.
Jag off. Because everyone on the East Coast says jag off too. Instead of
That's actually a very Pittsburgh thing to say. Friggin'
jag off. You friggin' jag off.
Yep.
Use guys. You jag off. Jaguar. Jaguar.
Yeah. A
I don't-
jaguar.
When I
I
lived
hate
in
when
England,
people say
everyone's
jaguar.
jaguar. I've heard that. Yeah, jaguar.
People like it-
Jaguar.
Yeah, like people in like northern Ohio, like northeast Ohio.
They say jaguar.
They say jaguar because they think it's that if they say it properly, they think they sound southern.
Yeah, it sounds
Jaguar.
southern to me. Jaguar. Jaguar. Jaguar.
Yeah, jaguar.
Jaguar. In the English say jaguar.
Yeah, I know
You
the
know.
commercials. Every time I see the commercial for a jaguar.
Oh yeah. They say it in the
Jaguar.
car commercial. Jaguar.
Yeah.
The new 2006 Jaguar.
Yeah, and
You-
I'm like,
you-
okay.
Yeah, it's weird. They say puma as well. Puma.
Puma. That just
Puma.
sounds too much like pubic. I don't know.
And they call pumice stone pumice.
Pumice, yeah.
Yeah, pumice.
Yeah.
Okay, so panther is 60 to 69, 70 to 79 is a cheetah, 80 to 89 is a leopard, 90 to 99 is a saber-toothed tiger, and if you're
Well, yeah.
over 100, if you're over 100, I would call you Methuselah, but no, they're
Right?
saying if you're over 100, it's lion. I had no idea that this existed.
Wow. Look, if you're over 100 in your dating, I call you, I don't know, more power to you. That's all
More
I'm
power
saying. Jesus.
A mountain lion. A mountain lion is a cougar, Thorn. That's what a cougar is. A cougar is
That's
a mountain
what a cougar
lion.
is, a mountain lion. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
A mountain lion is 40 in their 40s. Okay, now I know. I'm so happy. I won't call a woman in her 30s a cougar. She's a puma.
She's a puma. Yep. What did we
Great.
say I was now?
You were a puma, but now you're a jaguar.
I'm a jaguar. That's right.
Jaguar.
I'm a jaguar. I couldn't remember
jaguar.
why we were saying jaguar over and over again.
Yeah, jaguar. Johnny Vigas said lion. It should say lioness, but it just says
Yeah,
lion.
it should say lioness. Yeah, because a lion's a dude.
A lion is a dude. Lioness. Yeah, she's a lioness. She's over 100. I don't know that we're going to meet many of those lionesses.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe
think
this
so.
generation will live a long time. Maybe we'll have some lionesses. But saber-toothed tiger, a woman in her 90s still dating. Oh, my God. Saber-toothed
That's the most
tiger.
unattractive cat I can think of. A saber-toothed tiger. I mean,
They got the big.
Yeah. I guess that's going for the long in the tooth thing. You know, whenever you say somebody's old, you say they're getting long in the tooth.
She's a saber-toothed tiger. She got long teeth. I thought the
she's
long
long
in the
in the
tooth
tooth.
thing meant horses. Like they look at the
It
horse, they
is.
could tell. Yeah.
Yeah, but like whenever you hear like old timers say that, you know, instead of saying somebody's old, they're like, oh, they're getting a little long in the tooth, you know, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I think a
No,
mountain
mountain
lion
lion is not a puma.
No, a puma is like a jungle cat of Florida. I always think of like a jungle cat for pumas.
like-
Panthers and pumas.
Panther, yeah, a puma and a panther are the same.
It's the same thing,
family.
right?
Yeah. So I always think of a puma as a black cat, a black sleek.
Yes, I always think of a black cat too. A black
Mhm.
jungle cat. Like
Yeah, a black sleek. They sound like babies when they cry.
how come there was no tiger? They got leopards. Oh, the saber-toothed tiger
The
is all you got.
saber-tooth tiger. Yeah.
No tigers though. We got
tigers.
leopards, cheetahs, panthers, jaguar, cougar, puma. No wildcat. No tiger. I feel like they missed something here. They should have had a tiger, but whatever. I don't know. Jaguar's a jungle cat though too. Jaguar's a nobalam, right? Jaguars live in like
Right.
the jungles of Mexico.
Right.
But I don't know, blue
Well, who
hairs.
knows?
Well, I need to get off the air so I can get back on the air.
I know. We're just like, I'll just
Thank
eat
you.
up all your time.
I love doing it, but I'm also, once I stand for like 3 hours, I start
Yeah,
feeling a
I
little.
was like, I was seeing you like, I was like, we can't be killing you back.
Yeah, I start just needing to have a little sit down, you know. I meditate,
Yeah,
I
for
read a
sure.
little bit, and then I come back
Yep.
on the air. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you
Yep.
everybody for joining. Thank you, Jen from Maine. I appreciate you, and and thanks everyone for joining. Thank you, Parallelis, for the great donation. I really appreciate you, and thank you to Hey Speakers Argument of God for the donation. I appreciate you very much. Thank you to the Sky City Rebels. Thank you to everyone here, and I'll see you in looks like about an hour and 15 minutes. Bye, everybody. Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.